Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between, yeah, it's all that. And we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg, yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Welcome. I don't know about you, but it is good to be alive on a Saturday morning. This is Grapsody. I'll level with you guys. I haven't had a ton of sleep, but it's all right. We're here. We're full of energy. I'm Phil Lindsey. Of course, I'm here with Righteous Reg. Hopefully, you got more sleep than I did.
It is your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster.
What just happened?
Can you hear me?
All of a sudden, I couldn't hear you. Hold on.
Oh my goodness, this stream. I knew StreamYard was going to be crazy. You can hear me now.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Okay, it's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. Yes. Oh my God. This is StreamYard. I hate you. I don't like you. And I never want to be your friend. Mm-hmm. The song is playing in my ears right now.
Okay. So you're still getting the Grapsody theme, but it's all good. We're here. We're live. Apparently StreamYard didn't sleep well either, like DK saying in the chat. That's hilarious. I can now hear it echoing. So I can now hear the theme as well. Ah!
Please stop. Please save me. Oh my goodness, that was insane. Hello, Philip Lindsey, my friend. I am here. I think officially I'm making noise. I am talking. It's Saturday morning. It's Grapsody. It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. Getting my thing off again. Nope, it's back. I'm going to have to back out and come back. Please keep the show going. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Okay, hold on. We will be with you guys shortly, sorting out StreamYard's nonsense.
I love it.
I can hear the theme again as well. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna sort this thing out. Again, this is Grapsody here live on Fightful's YouTube channel. We're gonna run down the latest news this week. Got quite a few things happening this week. A lot of free agency news to talk about coming out this week. We're going to get into this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. I saw another company had their big debut on AMC. I hate to break it to you guys. I did not watch much of that show. So you won't have much insights from me on that. But it looks like Reg is back. Here, we'll see.
Louise.
You're back. Here we go. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Don't play with me today, StreamYard. I got a lot to say about TNA, and I need to come through loud and clear today, buddy.
Yeah. I was just saying before you jump back in, I did not watch much of that. So, yeah. I thought it was very funny straight away that people were surprised that it was bad, because I was like, oh, you guys expected it to be good. Okay, that's cool.
I guess
sometimes we gotta have high hopes in life, man. I know.
Listen, the thing that I am most mad about at this point in time, after watching that show on Thursday, Philip Lindsey, is how people are talking about it. This show will never in life get better if we're like, it was fun. Actually, I liked it. How there that was a bad wrestling show, Phil. Bad on almost every level. Super bad for being a debut wrestling show. Like, people are supposed to watch this and supposed to watch next week. I watched that show and said, I'm never watching this show again. That's not a way to get people to your pay-per-view. That's not a way to get people to continue to watch your show. It was a bad show. So everybody, though, feels like, oh, it's okay, it's all good. This is a starting point. A starting point. No one's going to continue after this starting point. Whew.
Yeah, my big takeaway from the little bit of it that I saw and the breakdown of the show and a lot of what I've read is it feels like they tried to copy the same formula as the WWE debut on Netflix. And I wasn't a big fan of that debut.
No.
But it seemed like they tried to do a lot of the same things. Tried to bring in like celebrities like Perez Hilton, tried to bring in like influencers, tried to do like the AJ Styles even opened the show kind of the same way that John Cena did on that debut episode. It very much felt like they were trying to do the same kind of episode. And they did it a lot worse because they don't have the high production value that WWE does. They don't have the star power that WWE does. And so it just came off not well. And I just think like for WWE to do a show that's 3 hours plus and have 3 matches, they can get away with that with their audience. But I think if you're going to be an alternative to WWE, you can't do that. You've got to give fans outside of the WWE bubble something else to hook on to. And
Exactly.
This wasn't it. This just wasn't it.
If I want to, this is what I always say about anybody trying to be a competitor to WWE or whatever they're trying to be to WWE. If I want to watch WWE, I'll watch WWE. If you're going to give me a little WWE, I'll just watch the real thing. So I don't really understand this. Like that, I was watching the show with someone, Phil, and when Perez Hilton came out, they died, dude. They were like, the quote is that this show is very 2000s coded, and I don't really know if that should be the vibe in 2025. Like everything around it, the production value, how the show was moving, I was just like, this is not good. And like, I know that they had some issues and some technical difficulties, like the beginning of Grapsody today, but like that's no excuse, man. Like you should have something on deck. There was only 3 matches in that little bit of time. And yeah, it did feel exactly like you're saying, Phil. It felt like that Netflix debut, but like they had real celebrities in WWE, and it feels like if you're trying to do that same thing and it's not that, it's going to be like, well, why would you do that? It was just very confusing on a lot of parts, and I'm still very confused as to why it all happened.
Yeah, I think saying it was 2000 coded is pretty much dead on. And the fact that it felt very much like this relied on a lot of nostalgia for older TNA fans, like bringing out Dixie, Bubba coming out, and like, Frankie Kazarian being champion. A lot of the stuff around this is like, bro, if you're going to move forward with this company and you've got a TV deal in 2026, man, you've got to build some new stars. You got to bring in some young talent. You got to bring in some new main eventers that are going to get people to want to watch this show. Shout out to Mike Santana. I'm a fan of his. I don't think that we needed to do this angle with Kazarian. I think Santana should have just came into the debut as champion. But yeah, he's a 2-time TNA World Champion. Salute to him. I think bringing in Elena Black, that's a good signing for them. I think the Knockouts division needed like someone new. They needed some young talent as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there was so much on this show that I was just like, who is this for? Like the Perez Hilton and Mr. Elegant segment, I was like, what am I watching? Like, what is this for?
Yeah, they booed Dixie. Cause like why why wouldn't they is what I was kept wondering. They shot a main event angle for the pay-per-view that's tonight, and it was after the camera stopped rolling, Phil. So nobody that watched the TV show got to see the go home angle to their pay-per-view. So there was just a lot of missteps and miscues and confusing things. But that's what I came out of it with, Phil. I'm like, who's the next generation of this company? Because like this current generation is the past generation, and the ones that I came to watch this show on, WWE keeps putting them on their show.
Yeah. I think the biggest star of this era of TNA, the biggest young star that they could have had on this show, wasn't here. He was on WWE this week. And man, I mean, look, shout out to Leon. Big fan of his. I love that he's getting more exposure through WWE. He challenged Carmelo for the United States Championship last night on SmackDown. That's awesome. But amazing. Hey, TNA sure could have used him on Thursday night. So yeah, like the one of the few people that there was excitement for is the X Division champion, and he wasn't there. And WWE got the actual good match out of him with Melo this week. I was just like, that in itself is just so crazy. And I mean, he's clearly not going to be long for this company. I mean,
no, he's out of here.
It's clear as day. And I think that that's not a great sign for TNA as well, as the fact that this wasn't a strong debut. A lot of the wrestlers for the past year or so that people have been interested in, it already feels like they're heading somewhere else. Like, the most over guy in the company at one point is Joe Hendry. He's gone. He's over there in NXT. Jordan Grace, great knockouts champion, great talent for you. She's gone. She's on SmackDown now. And like I said, Leon Slater, not here.
He apparently works here, but he booked on more WWE shows than he is on TNA shows at this point. And that's, I mean, not surprising considering the talent, but it's like, if you're trying to push what the future of this company is, I don't have an idea. I didn't see what the X Division is to TNA. It should have been on display here. There should have been an Ultimate X match or something that says, if you want to watch, if you're going to come back for this show, this is the kind of heat that you're going to get.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I was going. The thing that makes TNA interesting for the most part is the X Division and the knockouts. And I don't think that that was displayed very well here. We got formerly known as Sonya Deville, Daria Ray. I think that's what she's going by now. Again, I think that was a great addition here, and bringing her in with Elena Black was good. But there should have been a match. There should have been like a big knockouts match. I know you've got a pay-per-view this weekend, or a TNA Plus exclusive pay-per-view, but there should have been like something for the knockouts here to get people interested, and there should have been like something for the X Division match. Now, to be fair, it seems like the match that was going to be here was Leon Slater versus Myron Reed. We'll get to that in a second, but Myron wasn't available because he's signed elsewhere now, and then Leon Slater is working WWE shows.
My favorite part is like they were like, Myron was gonna do the match. Myron essentially was like, I'll do it. Like, I'm not gonna back out of this. We're good here. And so like, if they would have made the deal and made it happen, the match wouldn't have happened anyways, because Leon Slater would have been gone to WWE doing something else. So that whole situation was just kind of crazy to put it all together like that. But you got to have backups, Phil. This is kind of how I feel about all wrestling companies. Like, if somebody gets injured, somebody's out, some plans change, we got a roster full of wrestlers that should be on deck. We got a roster full of stories that should be happening on deck. Like, we should never fall into a problem where it's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I don't know what to do because a couple of people are out or whatever the situation is. They should always be on top of this. But it almost felt funny, Phil. Like, it was like, this is classic TNA. Like, they couldn't do just a debut on a new network and everything go right, and they have a home run knockout thing and everybody's good here. It had to end like this because that's the way that TNA does.
Yeah. I think the worst thing you can say about this show, and I've seen a lot of people say this so far, is that it was just kind of boring, along with the fact that it wasn't good. At least if you were going to do some controversial stuff and make a splash, like, that would have been newsworthy. Like, I keep saying, like, you made the point of bringing Tessa back to this company. At this point, you got to decide what you're going to do. Either she's going to be in the Knockouts Championship picture or she's not. Like, you can't be like, oh, well, there's controversy. Well, you already knew that. She's back on your roster. So either you're going to put her in a mix and put her in big matches or you're not. And
there's controversy.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, I know people were like, hey, maybe Jericho's going to show up here. And I think even if Jericho would have showed up, that would have at least felt like something. And it kind of, at the end of the day, just felt like, okay, that was just 3 hours of wrestling that didn't really feel that memorable.
Yeah, and I think that's always worse, like you're saying, Phil. If it's boring, if it's bad and it's like so bad that we're like, everybody's talking about how bad it was and it's wrestle crap and it's all this, that's can turn into something. It being boring and I was bored and I wanted to change the channel is completely different. That doesn't get people to come back. At least a bad show, people are like, let's see if it gets better. Maybe let's hope for some other bad shit. But if it's just boring, people are going to be hard pressed to come back to that.
Absolutely. And, I want TNA to succeed. I really do. This isn't one of those, haha, they failed or haha, their debut was trash. But I also wasn't surprised that it wasn't good, given the fact that I had seen a bunch of episodes of TNA coming into this year. And I was just like, ooh, this is not for me. And so seeing that what we got in the debut on AMC was more of what I haven't been enjoying, I was like, yeah, not really surprised, guys.
I thought maybe they'd go different, they go big, they try something else, but I saw a bunch of people saying that it's just the same stuff that they've been doing, and like, if that's the strategy, I guess interesting one, but you're not going to grow your audience as everybody talks about and tries to do. Because like, again, Phil, who is this show for? Like, if you're going for, because I've been thinking about like the number 2 promotion stuff and all that. I'm like, okay, no, they were talking about something else. They were talking about being a subsidiary of WWE. Like if it's like, it's NXT, it's Evolve, it's LFG, and it's TNA, then like, I understand what they were doing because they knocked it out of the park. But like, do people want that, Phil? Like, don't you want a viable other brand, not just the same brand, smaller?
Yeah. I don't think the way is to try to replicate what WWE does, because WWE does what they do better than anybody else. You're not gonna outdo them at what they do well. You got to find your identity and you got to find your audience. You had that at one point. That's what made TNA special. That's how TNA has lasted this long, even when it wasn't very good. You can't try to replicate what WWE does poorly and also not excel at what you do well. And that's why I at least expected like something with the X Division here, something with the Knockouts, because even if they don't have the world title picture together, those two things are usually the best part of TNA, and that wasn't here.
Yeah, that's usually the draw. That's usually what brings people back. I mean, next week, this is a starter episode, I think was a horrible idea, and I don't think people are going to come back. But like, as a brand, next week, you got to try that. And like, it's sad, Phil, because they can't really rely on Leon Slater for much longer. I don't know how long that contract is, but he worked for WWE at this point. Like, and if I could get Leon and Javon on the other show, I'm going to go watch the other show. So it's just, I just don't really understand what happened here. Bully Ray was on commentary, Phil. Like, we're going backwards, I think.
Yeah, you've got to move forward, man. Like, I feel you. I know nostalgia is a big part of wrestling, man, but this show felt very dated from what the breakdown of it. A lot of what I saw was like, I don't know, guys. I think you got to move into we got to move into the next decade, man. It's 2026. We gotta move forward, man.
There's been some controversy online, surprise, about some people in attendance and some content creators, and because at one point, Phil, TNA zoomed in or did the these are the people in attendance and kind of showed some things, and they showed the wrong side when they started to go past the celebrity panels because behind them was nobody back there. So I was like, again, production was crazy out here, but why are people surprised that content creators went and had fun?
I think the way that it was handled did not help. Because, content creators flying out to see the show, that's a common occurrence for all of the wrestling companies.
Yes.
I think when you show a row of them and then all of the seats behind them are empty, it kind of looks crazy. And then it's like, what are you attempting to do by putting them on your show and saying, hey, all of these wrestling content creators are here, but I don't know, the execution of it and the presentation was just not good. And, that's no knock to any of those content creators that were there. Of course, friend of the show, Alex, was there.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I just don't think that they put those people in a good light. Because like I said, they just had them in this row in front of empty seats, and then you now painted a target on their back as, look, these people flew out to see this show. And yeah, you should be letting those content creators create content around your show and come out and say, hey, I had a good time at the show, instead of doing that.
And it looks crazy when it's a bad wrestling show, Phil, and they look like they're having a good time, because they're definitely not having a good time. This is a bad wrestling show.
Yeah. I don't know. I think everything around that was a bit baffling, but it also just like there's some decision making in TNA that I just don't really get at the moment. I keep saying I just don't know who this is for. I don't know.
It's crazy because like that moment that we're talking about is a current future type thing. You feature content creators, you feature people that are talking about your show in a different light, but then like the execution wasn't right, and it's just like classic TNA trying to do something right and still kind of screwing it all up. Just an unfortunate situation all around. Like we said, we want TNA to succeed. If TNA is a viable brand, that helps others. Like a conversation we're gonna have here today was so funny that hella people were like, what if Powerhouse Hobbs shows up on TNA? And I was just like, you guys. And like, I want that to be a thing though, Phil. I want that to like Powerhouse Hobbs or people in this position to have that option, but that's not really an option.
No. Yeah, no, I want TNA to feel like a viable option, but I don't think that it came across as a viable option on Thursday. I think it felt yeah, I think it felt like a part of the WWE pipeline. It felt like a feeder for WWE. And the Leon Slater stuff really made it feel that way.
Right. Exactly. Like kind of like if we need something from over here for our thing, the real thing, we'll take it. And like that's not really, that doesn't feel like a partnership to me. And like that's what I expected it to be going in here. Is like they're gonna dominate the news, they're gonna dominate anytime they have any kind of crossovers, and then they're just gonna pick and choose from the roster who they want. And it's happening in front of our eyes, and I'm just like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if anytime you needed Leon, your debut episode on AMC after you just got a TV deal, you need him. That's your. It's not like he's an upcoming guy that people like. He's your X Division champion.
Yeah, you
kind of need him.
Yeah. Like even if it's not the Myron match, you put him in the match with anybody back there that can rock it, and just let these guys rock it.
You got Cedric over there. You got Mustafa over there. You got guys he could have wrestled.
I forgot. Yeah, you got people that you could have put him across the ring against, and they would have tore it down. And at minimum, people would have been like, well, at least we got to see that amazing Leon Slater and whoever match, and they rocked it, and I'm going to come back for Leon Slater. But WWE couldn't even give them the courtesy of doing that. They were like, no, we need him over here.
No, we need him over here. Oh, y'all need him? Okay.
Okay. Damn, the WWE's phone, they haven't answered their phone in 3 days. That's crazy. What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Send us in your super chats. That is the best way to get your chats read on this podcast. You can also send us a humper chat where we get a bigger cut of the the take. It's humperchats.com/fightful.
Absolutely. You know, we always appreciate our friends, our supporters, our people here submitting super and humper chats. We're going to get into a couple of them and move forward. The homie Grapple Geekery says, enjoying my 3-day weekend with Grapsody. Oh, yeah, it is a 3-day weekend for a lot of people out there in the workforce. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the homie Grapple Geekery for always being a big support. And I hope it's a dope one for you.
Yeah. Shout out to Grapple Geekery. Shout out to people that do not have to go to work on Monday.
Lucky. Appreciate that, Grapple Geekery. Anwar Starwin says, good luck to Hobbs on his future pursuits.
Yeah. Big news with that. We'll get into the Hobbs news in a bit. But that is, yeah, definitely a big, shocking revelation coming out of Dynamite this week. But yeah, we'll get into it.
As someone very close to the situation, shit's crazy. We'll get into it very soon here. The homie Leonard Aarons III says, I heard Triple K trying to be triple NAACP out here. I'll believe that when TNA becomes the number 2 promotion on the planet. No shit, total nonstop ass.
Yeah, Leroy Ford. Sorry, not Leroy Ford. I'm sorry. I'm getting my names mixed up again. Haven't slept very, very well. But Lind, bro, it just that report that he's trying to bring in more black talent. Hey, great if that's like a concerted effort and that works out for the talent. You've also got Obafemi potentially coming to the main roster. You've got a lot of great possibilities here. Melo is doing well as U.S. champion. That response to Trick Williams last night was crazy. I don't know if you saw that, Reg, but bro, him coming out and that whole crowd was singing "Whoop That Trick." That was fire. Good for him.
I watched that clip with my mouth wide open, like what? Like I knew that it was crazy. It's funny because I was just talking with Denise about Trick and how he's been working out over there because I don't really watch the show and she's pretty into NXT and stuff. And like, she's like, the entrance is crazy. I'm like, it's almost like Jey Uso again, huh? And then I was like, great. And then I saw that last night. And I was like, oh my God, this is like, he hasn't even really shown these people who he is yet. And they're already bought in on this part, which WWE loves this part, dog. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for him. He like just had a segment with Randy Orton a week ago. So yeah, hopefully this is a good sign of things to come with him. Clearly they're interested in Leon Slater. Javon Evans also just came up to Raw. Not a fan of the way that they brought him up to Raw, giving him the commercial segment, but hopefully that's not a sign of things to come for him. He had some really good showcase matches last year, so yeah, hopefully they can figure it out. I don't know. I'm not as optimistic about their approach to black wrestlers, but they've got so much potential. They have so many options. And if they're looking to sign other guys, that's only a good thing for other black talent. They just got to do it now.
This is maybe, I can't think of a time in recent history with this much rich, ready for TV black talent. If WWE doesn't capitalize, like again, this is a very pivotal year for that, Phil. I think with Oba coming up, what they're going to continue to do with Melo, whatever happens with Javon and Leon and Hobbs potentially, and all these black talents of different shapes and sizes and different working things and Trick and all these different like you got every situation here for one of these guys, two of these guys, three of these guys to go to the next level. And I think it could happen at the same time. We're definitely going to see it. I have zero faith in this happening because I've been disappointed a gazillion times in my life wanting this. But if the time is not now, the time is never. So we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see.
About to get crazy out here. Appreciate that, Lynn. Josh D from CT with a generous super chat. Appreciate you, homie. Phil, the Bears. Hi, Righteous Ringo. TNA says they're going to sign some top indie talent ASAP. So I made a list of some impact players for y'all. Billy Dixon, Starboy Charlie, Teriyaki, and Johnny Robbie. These motherfuckers spitting. That's a great list right there, my homie Josh. Starboy Charlie might already be snatched up after some news this week that he had a tryout out in Orlando with the WWE. And I've been talking for the last year at every West Coast Pro show, like they're going to sign next show. Charlie will be signed. Next show, Charlie will be signed. And I think finally next show, Charlie's going to be signed, Phil.
Yeah, those names, I've heard them a bunch of times. I'm surprised it took so long for somebody to snatch up Charlie. He was just sitting in the crowd at NXT, right?
Yep, he was one of those potentials. You could see him, like that's already a big deal for him to be sitting out there. That means something.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully that works out for him. I'm glad it's not turning into like a WWID situation. If you're gonna sign the guy, sign him. Of course, now William Regal is back in the building over there. He's back over there scouting. We're moving away from bringing in the college athletes. We're back to scouting indie wrestlers. So hopefully that means good things for people like Starboy Charlie.
I have mixed emotions, Phil, always, because anytime they come for indie wrestling, I'm like, fuck. But then like Starboy Charlie gets a shot and I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. I love Charlie. I want him to get that opportunity. I've seen this kid. The first time I go to West Coast Pro shows, he's like in the crowd with me as a 16-year-old kid. Like he has a match with him and Powerhouse Hobbs. And I think maybe Titus Alexander, a 3-way, like before Hobbs got big into AEW. Like this kid has been around and been working hard and been to Japan and been coaching at the West Coast Pro Academy and been doing all these things to earn this shot. So it makes a lot of sense in that case. But then another case, they're going to be getting people that need more development, and there's too many pipelines over here and TNA's being weird. So I'm confused about it, but I hope it works out for everybody.
Yeah. Chad is also saying North Phoenix was in the crowd as well. She's another one that I would think that somebody else would have taken a chance on at this point. At least, getting like one of the first Muslim wrestlers to wrestle in like traditional garb and putting them on TV, that feels like it should have been a slam dunk for somebody at this point. And with all of the positive media coverage that WWE can squeeze out of this, like I said, I'm surprised it hadn't happened yet. Hopefully this does mean she is going to get a contract. Even if she's just on NXT, I think the exposure would be tremendous for her. So hopefully that works out for her.
Remember, Phil, how we talked about Mercedes and the Mercedes stimulus package, and people were saying her having these matches and winning all these championships, what does that mean for anything? That doesn't help anybody. Like nobody, she's just being Mercedes Hogan and just putting herself over all of these people. And like every single wrestler that she's had a match with, WWE is like, what's up? AEW is like, what's up? Like these people are getting opportunities based off just being in the ring with her. Sometimes, Phil, just one time.
Yeah. Persephone was another wrestler that WWE was interested in. And that's, yet another Mercedes opponent from last year. So, anybody that thinks that Mercedes wrestling some of these people is not helping them, it's not giving them more exposure, you are sadly mistaken. And I think that was proven with the PWI and how some of these women made the PWI for the first time in their career after wrestling Mercedes.
Mm-hmm. You get on the radar, you become something else. Some other people start seeing you just based off having one match with her. So very important stuff. But yeah, appreciate that, Josh. Johnny Robbie, the West Coast Pro Women's Champion, is incredible. She's been destroying it every time she's had a match on the show. It's one of the best matches on the show. She's not long for this world, too. I think they need her kind of flavor, her kind of energy. That California shit is definitely on its way. Bill Dixon, I think, is saying he's retiring this year, but things could change with other stuff. And Teriyaki's one I think needs to stay on the indies and develop. We need his kind of energy out there. Appreciate that, Josh. Leonard also says TNA total nonstop ads. See, that's the thing, Phil, when you go back, like TV deals are great, like money, they do all this stuff, but TV deals also mean you're on TV with ads.
Nah, see, man, bring back Melissa Santos, man. Get us back in front of the Twitch audience, man.
When they used to shoot to Melissa, and then sometimes Melissa would get some shit off, and you're like, "Oh, wait, hold on, Melissa, I don't think we're supposed to be talking about the TNA show here." Interesting times. They've been through so much, and it's like,
What a funny time, man.
Again, they're just like they can't die, dude. No matter what they do, they just keep going. So I kind of understand why they did what they did today, because they're like, we'll still keep going.
Yeah. People don't remember. I believe that was during the pandemic when they were doing the shows on Twitch, and Melissa Santos was doing like the breaks in between action in front of her computer. Yeah. What a time.
Man, pandemic wrestling, that was different time in life. Glad we are out of that. The homie Bragav says, happy Grapsody. Hope everyone is well. Member for 31 months now. That's amazing, Bragav. Time is just flying by, man. 2026, every time I think back to, because I was going through some Hobbs stuff again, what we're going to get through, and like being like, damn, it's been, these years are just kind of flying by. The pandemic was a different time. Like we're in a just totally different space in life and in wrestling and all these things. So it's crazy. Appreciate that, Bragav.
Mm-hmm.
The homie Arduous says, def understand and support Hobbs doing what dude feels like is good for him, but like he's seen how the Fed treats black male talent, right? Question mark.
Yeah, well, like I said, we'll get into the Hobbs thing in a few, but I have my concerns. I will just say that.
Yes, huge concerns over here. Time and history hasn't shown well for a lot of people, but they say things are different, Phil. They say.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Appreciate that, Arduit. T-Rav, the homeboy says, this is NY bias, but boy is my guy Max B perfect for the social media era. Either you get it or you don't, but the wave is indeed back. Flame emoji album with French.
Yeah, Wavy outside again. Fetty Wap is back outside. Salute to that guy, man.
Come on.
Man, like get my man Sue Surf out here too, man.
I think he's close. I was just reading something. He might be out in February, man. Shout out to the guy. Shout out to the guy Cain Velasquez too, who might also be out very soon. But yeah, Max B gets it. He understands exactly what it takes to promote these days, exactly what it takes to be a rapper in these times. He's on all the podcasts he should be on. He's doing all the right things. Like he was studying while he was locked down, and it's making sense. French is definitely reaping the benefits as he should. He was one that continuously held Max down the entire time Max was down. So I'm happy that French is down there, and I'm happy that he pressed Fat Joe on his show about that money.
That's hilarious. But yeah, man. Shout out to Max B. Shout out to Fetty Wap. Hopefully he's somewhere cooking up some new music. Shout out to J. Cole. We didn't get into that to start the pod, but J. Cole dropped a trailer for the Fallout. We've been waiting for anything for the Fallout. He's been teasing the Fallout for over 2 years at this point. We were waiting to see when he was going to drop an album, especially following the Kendrick and Drake aftermath. We finally got a trailer. He dropped a song. I thought the song was fire. The video was super hard. I was like, oh, this is dope.
Aaron Busby, leave J. Cole alone. Go back to the Drake hate. I don't like your J. Cole. He has to apologize. He has to do all these things. He has to make all these proclamations on this next album. Leave him alone, Aaron Busby. Very excited to see J. Cole back, Phil. I think that he fills a role and a void that's needed in hip hop. He has his space, and I don't think none of that battle stuff goes into me listening to his next album. Like, I don't care about what happened there. I know what stories he's going to do and what he's going to tell. And he's already showed us with these little clips and snippets and the song that he released. Very excited for J. Cole. It's about to drop, Phil, like in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
it's the February 6th. Like we are in it at this point, and I'm excited to see what Cole has to do, what has to say. He's acting like this could be it. Like he keeps telling everybody, and kind of his moves and momentum is like, this could be my last one. Would not be surprised if it was this last one with the landscape of how everything moves and what everything's happening. So excited to see what goes down on February 6th.
Yeah. I think for the talk about him putting the diss track on the last one, might delete later. I thought that was actually a good project.
Yes.
But of course it got overshadowed by the beef stuff. But bro, Pie was fantastic. He had a great Daylight verse on that album.
Yo, the Daylight.
Yeah, his pen has still been sharp. He's been still dropping good verses, still been dropping good music. So I'm excited for the fallout. Cole is still Cole to me. I know people aren't going to see him the same way after he retracted that diss track. I wasn't a fan of him retracting that, but also now we're moving on. It's 2026. Like, give us some good music.
We are moving on, you guys. He wasn't a part of this. He saw what was going on and he ran the fuck out of there. And again, we could talk about what blah, 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 but I don't want to. We're in 2026. Give us the good music and let's move forward. Before we move on, I did also listen to the ASAP Rocky album, and I like the stuff that I heard on the ASAP Rocky album. I know hip hop purists are probably going to be like, what's this shit? Because if you've known anything about ASAP Rocky, Phil, he's experimental and he's always going to experiment in his albums, and there's some experimental shit in it, but I like that type of shit. So I kind of felt like it was for me and kind of catered to me. So as far as that goes, I think it's a good ASAP Rocky album. I like the shit that he's talking on there. He's throwing some shots at some suspected people, as he should be, and he's getting his shit off. I'm not mad at it.
I haven't listened to the A$AP Rocky. I have heard good things about it. I might check it out. I saw he was getting some more of his modeling stuff off. Hey man, it seems like he's winning at life on the other side of this, other than dropping music. So good for him.
Listen, if it were me, you wouldn't hear an album. I would still be doing the modeling stuff, but I would be the most supreme stay-at-home dad you guys ever seen if my wife is Rihanna. Like, nobody could talk to me, nobody could look at me. You'd have to go through my assistant, essentially. Like, I wouldn't be what you regulars rapping, talking about this, that you could critique me. You wouldn't be able to critique me at that point.
Yeah.
The homegirl Tina Keys says, happy Saturday. Quite the eventful week in wrestling. Sending hugs, you gentlemen. And tonight, go Hawks.
Yeah. Quite an eventful Saturday, last Saturday in the city of Chicago. Cubs just made a big signing. Bulls won their game. As the Bulls were winning their game, Chicago Bears were playing their first playoff game since 2018 against our most notable rivals in the Green Bay Packers. I sat on this very podcast last Saturday and I said, I don't know, guys. I'm not sure if they can win this one because it's not that I don't love this team. It's not that I am not loyal to this team. This has been the most fun I've had as a Bears fan in a season in a very, very long time. They continue to mount these crazy comebacks, and I'm just not sure how they keep doing it. But, again, I've been a fan of this team for a long time, and the biggest obstacle to me enjoying myself as a fan of this team has been the Green Bay Packers for a long time. And it always feels like when we're up, we find a way to lose to this team. So I was like, it would just be perfect for us to make the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. And the way we beat them during the holiday weekend and how the city was up, everybody was happy that this would be how the season ends, losing to the Green Bay Packers. I was just like, yeah, this kind of writes itself. I kind of felt it was coming. Buddy, I have to tell you, our demise was a little bit premature, man. A little bit premature. When the game started and we got down by 18 points early, I was like, oh no, this feels like this is happening. I went. I was at a friend's house and she was watching me watch the game and she was just like, "It's that bad," and I was just like, I hate this team. Like that was just the whole time I was thinking that. The longer this game went on and we started to mount the comeback, I was like, oh no. This ain't the same Bears team. This ain't Eberflus. This ain't homeboy that we drafted that year that was garbage. This ain't Tressman. This ain't none of that. This ain't those same Bears. Hey man. Shout out to our coach. I'll get into that in a second because I saw they had some heat from my guy and I was like, oh, it's not that energy now, buddy. Let me tell you, it's that energy for life with me with that team. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck about no Packers fans. I don't give a fuck about the Packers. Fuck y'all. If my coach is speaking for me, I don't care if you don't think he's speaking for you. I don't care if you were offended. I had to listen to for years us being the laughing stock of this league. I had to listen to Green Bay Packers fans getting their shit off. I had to listen to this bum ass clown Aaron Rodgers. Oh, we own y'all. Oh, now y'all mad because our coach is cursing. Oh man, I'm sorry. Put some birds, buddy. It's over, buddy. Get these cheese clowns the fuck up out of here. It is over for all of that. We are up. Cardiac Bears came back from an 18-point deficit. My man Caleb Williams threw one of the most unbelievable passes I've ever seen on 4th and 8 to get us back in this game. Their kicker couldn't land a field goal to save his life out there shanking. Buddy, when I saw us go up, buddy, DJ Moore getting the game-winning touchdown again, it felt like deja vu after Christmas week. I was like, oh, man, I'm so sorry I was down early, buddy. I'm so sorry. If you guys saw me soaking and being careful with my excitement, I'm sorry, buddy. We're up, buddy. Heading into the second round. LA Rams, where y'all at? What's up? I don't even care if we lose at this point. I see y'all doing the same thing. Oh, this is y'all Super Bowl. Hey, guess what? Take y'all asses to Cancun. Fuck out of here. Go fishing, goddammit. I heard it all. Oh man, this is classless. Detroit fans trying to get in this. I can't believe he talked this way. Hey, fuck y'all too. Stay out of this. Fuck out of here.
Get your shit off. Get your shit off, man. Well deserved.
Yeah, listen, man. It's been a long time coming. We haven't won a playoff game in 15 years. 15 years. And for any team, for us to make our playoff return and beat, boy, was I happy it was this team. I heard all the talk after we beat them through the holiday weekend. Oh, you beat our backup quarterback. You didn't beat Jordan Love. Well, I seen Jordan Love out there last Saturday. How'd that work out for y'all? He in Cancun anyway, so. Hey, man, I saw all the, oh, we'll see you in the playoffs. Y'all doing all this talking. Hey, I'm still talking. The fuck is up? I ain't trying to hear none of that.
I see that your boy Lil Wayne issued an apology after his initial little tweet that he got off. Very salty, brother. Very salty.
Yeah, I saw he came out the next day and was like, oh, we got beat by a quarterback that paints his nails. So I was like, that sounds like some copium to me, Wayne. I don't know,
huge.
Dog. I don't know, dog. That sounds like copium to me, to a guy that just dropped a whack-ass album last year and didn't get to perform at the Super Bowl. Sound hurt to me, dog. Hey, find a better team, man. You sound like a loser just like them. Get the fuck up out of here, bro. I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. And Caleb was like, hey, man, it's all love. It ain't all love for me, dog. Sorry. If you riding with that team, it ain't all love.
I just didn't understand the text because, like, all the kids and dudes and the alternative guys that paint their nails, They all got it from Lil Wayne. So like, what are you even? I don't I don't know what's happening here.
Dog. I don't care if this dude paint his nails, buddy. I told my brother when we won, I was like, listen, if this guy manages to bring this city its first Super Bowl in over 40 years, I don't care about none of that. I will, if I mark my words, clip this if you will. If this guy manages to bring us our first championship in over 40 years, I'm going and getting some French tips, nigga. Like, get the fuck up out of here. I'm not trying to hear none of this. I'm not trying to hear none of this talk about nail polish. I ain't trying to hear none of this talk about who he might be dating. I do not care. I do not care.
I'm gonna go get some French tips. Oh my god!
Do
dude.
not care, buddy.
Get
I
your
do
shit
not care.
off.
I don't want to hear none of that.
Get your shit off, dog. 15 years, Phil. That's a long time. When I saw that 2010, I was like, damn, they've been in turmoil. I see why my friend is always like, I'm not getting invested. I'm not going to let these get me into that space. I understand the struggle. But after seeing the collective happiness between my friend, who, as you guys can hear, is going crazy, his homeboy wrestler Seth Rollins was going ham. That video with Freddie Gibbs and Spice Adams in the box, and they're just going ham. I'm like, nah, Chicago fans, man, it's your time. Get your shit off.
Bro, Chance was down there. Common was down there. All the Spike Lee was here for some reason. I don't know why he was here, but I was like, it feels good, man. A lot of people that don't usually talk to me about football, that are not usually in the know about these things. I got a lot of texts and they was like, bro, the Bears are good now, huh? I was like, no, we back. I was watching all season. Where were y'all at? We've been back. Sorry.
The Bears are good now, they say.
Buddy, like I said, when it started coming crashing down, I was like, oh, we can win this game. Oh, no. When they missed that last field goal, I cackled. I was like, wait. Yeah, I don't want to hear no more, man. I seen a lot of coping. I seen a lot of folks playing like, oh, they didn't even do anything special. We just lost this game. We don't know how to finish. They didn't do anything special. In what world is coming back from an 18-point deficit not special, dog? You coping? Get out of here, dog.
Yeah, no, the rules, the goalposts are literally being moved here when they're like, oh, they didn't do anything. They came back, dog. The game was over. I thought this was it. I'm like, oh, there's no way the Bears are going to come back. I started making a sandwich and shit and kicking it, all kind of stuff. No, the Bears were there to win that football game, and they won that football game. After not winning a playoff game in 15 years, that's not amazing. I don't really understand what's amazing then at this point.
Bruh. I'm telling you, I've seen that pass that Caleb threw on 4th and 8 several times. I still don't know how he did that. I was like, that. I don't know what that. The guy wasn't on his feet. He had left his feet and still had enough on that throw to put it on the money. I was like, we talking about nails? Like, all right, dog. I gotta come on, dog. We talking about his nails after that throw? I would be salty too after I seen that throw, and I know we had this game in the bag. I would have been real salty.
I'm saying, dog, this guy just shredded your whole team, sent you home packing. I would be like, oh yeah, look at his nails. You know, you gotta like get something on the way out, leaving here. So I totally understand, but like copium to the finest point, like eat it, live in your life. It's fine, you guys. Like this is what rivalries are all about. Yeah. This is why sports are dope. Like thinking that the Bears were down, you guys, and like momentum, man. Once momentum hits the other side and then it keeps going, like things could happen. So shout out to the Bears, homies. Good luck tomorrow against a tough LA Rams team. Shout out to California. You know, it always comes down to California because we got two teams out here representing. So it's going to be a tough one tomorrow, Phil.
Rams are going to be tough, and even if they make it, Rams, 49ers are going to be really tough. If they can make it, if 49ers can beat Seattle, 49ers are going to be real tough to beat. But again, they've overachieved at this point. At this point, the rest of this don't matter to me. They could lose this weekend, and I'd be like, hey, this was a fun season. No, beating that team twice. It just, no. This felt better than anything. And again, you can make all the jokes. This was their Super Bowl. Hey, man. Hey, guess where you're not going? To a Super Bowl. Hey, guess where Aaron Rodgers' punk ass ain't going? To a Super Bowl. He's taking his ass home, too. So, he'll lock that up. I saw people all upset at the way Ben Johnson shook Matt LaFleur's hand. Oh, this is classless. I can't believe he did this. Go back to the first game when they beat us this season and look at how Matt LaFleur shook his hand. It was the exact same way. Now y'all mad. Oh, it was okay when he did it, though. It's funny then because, again, the Bears are losing and y'all get to laugh it up and yuck it up at us. But then when it happens to them, oh, how dare you? I ain't trying none of that. Got back there and was hyping the team up, got ready to get them huddled together to get into our post-game ritual after we won the game. And he let that energy off, big energy. Fuck the Packers. Fuck them. I hate that team. And I saw people like, oh, how can he do this? Buddy, let me tell you. I've been waiting for a coach to echo my feelings this entire time because I've been about this energy. Get them up out of here. Grate the cheese. Get these bums up out of here.
This is my favorite moment of, yes, this is our Super Bowl, nigga. Fuck you.
I don't give a fuck about none of that. Cool. Y'all get y'all shit off. I've been waiting. It's big energy over here. It's big fuck Packers energy over here. It's been on that time. Oh, how can the coaches not get along? Great. We don't like them. They don't like us. It's perfectly fine.
Respect. Shout out to Chicago. There's games on in a couple of hours here. The games are getting started. Life is about to happen. We could potentially be having a good time here in the Bay Area if the Niners go all the way and play the Super Bowl in their own home stadium. So I am rooting for the homies here because I think that'll make for a lit weekend for me here in the Bay. That's all I really care about. I don't care about the game.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no real optimism that this team will make a Super Bowl. But again, what a fun season. I did not expect when they had that graphic of all of the games where it was like this score at this point in the game and the Bears came back and won all of those games. Would never guess that. Would have never guessed that this team would win 11 games this year.
Shit.
Yeah. What a ride, man.
Yeah, congrats to the Bears. That was an amazing. Anytime Phil could get the bombs off, that's just Grapsody, great Grapsody lore. So shout out to the Bears for that. Keep winning, because if we get more of that, like that, I'm into that. Let's get into some more of these super chats.
I don't know, man. We make it to a Super Bowl, man. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. There could be a lot behind that. I don't know, man, you guys.
I don't know, man. I saw a lot of people talking crazy earlier this year, and I did not forget, buddy. Oh, don't let us make it to no Super Bowl.
Yeah, a lot of talking. Let's get into some more super chats. The homegirl Denise Salcedo says Red should have been Mr. Elegance. I mean, for why? What would that like? What would that have done for anybody but your amusement here? I didn't even understand the segment that was going on. Then I remembered they were running a social media campaign to crown the new Mr. Elegance because some indie wrestlers and people I follow were along with it. Then I was super confused. I didn't understand anything that was going on. But whatever, Denise, you're a little hater. Stay with your TNA reviews. I'm sure you got one coming up tonight, or maybe you don't. Appreciate that. The Holy Van Twinblade says,
yeah, I thought at one point,
yeah,
I thought at what I thought at one point when they were doing the Mr. Elegance reveal and like the ties they have to NXT now, I was like, why wasn't this Tyler Breeze? I thought like this would have been perfect for Tyler Breeze. Like the paparazzi gimmick, Perez Hilton. I was like, why didn't we do that?
That would have made sense. And this show was about not making sense. They were like, we got to throw this new guy out here. I mean, again, for the future, that's something for the future, but like just interesting all the way. Perez Hilton is there. Nobody cared about Perez Hilton at all. Even when he posted his thing on social media, his fans didn't give a shit. Like there was just so many things that didn't make sense here. The homie Van Twinblade says, LOL TNA. Number 1, LOL TNA. Number 2, Powerhouse Hobbs out. Mitochondria Hobbs in. Rascalz. Number 3, Rascalz. Young Dung and Broke. Northeast Beast, Persephone, and Hoochie Cheryl are all elite. Max doing the Darby Wayne spot with Price Oliver was chef's kiss. Yeah, AEW went ham this week with the signings, Philip Lindsey. There's a lot of them going on. They're changing what the rosters are for their roster and the Ring of Honor roster and the indie wrestling roster. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. That definitely felt like year one AEW vibes with that video of Max telling them that they were all elite. I was like, yeah, that energy is back, man. Trying to, if we're still trying to bring the vibe back, I think it's back.
Absolutely. This is exactly the kind of energy they got to keep doing. What they're doing on Maximum Carnage this week, what they're doing with all these signings. Like, if this is how you're starting 2026, I'm excited about what's happening for the rest of the time. The homie Curtis Brooks says, how would you rate Mustafa Ali's post WWE run?
I haven't seen a ton of the TNA stuff. I thought that he would be kind of a bigger asset to TNA at this point.
Me too.
I think he had a solid title run, but I expected more at this point because he's such a great talent in ring. He can do great character work. It just hasn't really turned into what I expected. I thought he would be more places as well. I thought he would work more indie dates other than just TNA. I'm kind of surprised that this has been kind of it for him.
Yeah, this whole thing has been confusing, Phil, because honestly, the main event of this show on Thursday should have been Mike Santana versus Ali for the TNA World Championship. Like, that's what the future of this company is about. That's what we need to be focusing on. That's where we should have been moving. It's kind of confusing that he wasn't really a focal point of what's going on in TNA. I mean, when he I also thought he would be somewhere else. I kind of thought he would sign with AEW at this point. I kind of feel like he fits in there with what he does. I don't really know what the disconnect is. Maybe some things will happen, considering some people have went over from there recently. But yeah, I thought there would be more. But I mean, 2026 is a year to kind of, there's some open space. Like if TNA does want to invest, they have the opportunity to invest in Ali.
Yeah. So I think a lot of his 2024 stuff was really better than what he was doing last year. Hopefully this year he's like a return to form for him. But yeah, I expected more. I don't know.
Yeah. Things should change, TNA. Focus on who you got. Leonard also says NXT on AMC equals ECW on TNN. It is over.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far because, like, still at the very least, they are a subsidiary of WWE. They are a part of that land. So that's going to do something for somebody. The homeboy Carlos Silva going out to present the tag team championships to the women, I thought was hilarious. It was one of those, what's he doing here? But like, I totally understand what he's doing.
Yeah, I get what they're trying to replicate, and it's not really hitting.
Authority figures, that was kind of a bad part of the show too. Like they're doing the Santino and Daria thing, and it's like, I don't want to see competing authority figures on my wrestling show anymore at this point. That's such an old trope that like needs to be retired. It rarely works these days where people care. It was some of the worst part of when the AEW was not my favorite at the time is when they were focusing on that authority angle shit. So I think that don't do it. Like we got to figure out a different way. The nostalgia stuff like we're talking about, Phil, there's another story to be told just across the board about we're just rehashing ideas from the last 10, the last 20, the last 30 years. Like that's what professional wrestling on the highest level is. And it's about time for a change.
Yeah. The women's, the Knockouts tag titles match was interesting as well. The Inspiration lost here. We got the report right afterwards that the Inspiration will be free agents. This is another one of those, you would think you would lock somebody up that's a champion coming into your debut. I'm kind of surprised they did not lock the Inspiration in. And even with the news we heard about the X Division match, why didn't you offer Myron a contract before this? There were months where this guy was there. He gave you one of your best matches of 2025. Why didn't you just sign him?
How many Grapsody podcasts did we come on, Phil, saying that Myron Reed's the best unsigned talent? Anytime somebody was like, who's independent that you guys like, Phil and I are like, Myron Reed. And like this guy was on TNA TV a lot. Like he was a part of a lot of angles in 2025 and like featured. Why wouldn't you guys just give him a contract and have him featured for real?
Yeah. I don't get it.
I thought it was we might as well, I guess, get into the Rascalz are all elite, because I was thinking before we started the pod, I was all, damn, they signed Bustin' the Brain, Alec Price, and Jordan Oliver, and I was all, within days, Myron Reed and Jordan Oliver have AEW contracts, and as somebody who was a fan of both of theirs when they were in Justice in MLW as a tag team together, to know that they both got contracts and both are working for the same company means a lot to me, Phil. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, we got the big news on Wednesday during Maximum Carnage that the Rascalz are all elite. That was following the Fightful Select report that the Rascalz were backstage at Dynamite this week. I'm not sure if it's been confirmed. I think Sean was saying that all 4 members have signed. I don't know that it's been confirmed by AEW yet, but given the people that were retweeting this, I cannot be more excited that Myron Reed got signed. I think that's the best thing to come out of this. He has been long overdue a contract at one of the big 2 companies in the U.S. I think it is a shame that it took this long, but man, so happy he's going to be in the mix with so many talented wrestlers like Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, Bandito. The matches this guy can have over there now. Super excited about that. Super excited about the Rascalz now being a part of that Trios division. I think for a long time, the Trios division was really missing that team that had a chemistry together, and it wasn't just a thrown together trio. Now you got a trio that can really go over there and hoop and have the PWG style indie wrestling matches that I think could make that division shine. But you just got to give them the opportunities. You got to put them in the spots.
Yeah, this is great, amazing news. Like Phil is saying, like hearing that the Rascalz sign was amazing, but hearing that Myron Reed is a part of that took it over the top for me. Myron Reed has cooked so long. Some of his moves and things that you see on TV, he was doing them for a long time. Now he gets to do them on TV. I'm so excited that his energy is finally being brought to a main stage, because he's like something, he doesn't work like anybody else in the company. He brings a different type of vibe. Like he's going to fit in so well in so many places. Thinking of like Kyle Fletcher matches, thinking of like a Jack Perry match, thinking of Ricochet matches. There's so many matches that Myron Reed is going to fit in. Like Collision's going to be made for Myron Reed and what he does. And yeah, the trios and tag team divisions, I think benefit huge in this with the Rascalz being a part of the trios division. That energy is definitely needed. If you want to revamp the trios division, especially coming off of some news we're going to talk about in our pod still here to come, the trios division needs kind of, even beyond that, Phil, the trios division's needed a revamping. It's needed it's needed a tentpole team. It's needed that team that you really fight towards. And I think the Rascalz represent that crazy energy what the trios division could be about, those balls to the wall matches. All those guys are great. And then beyond even that, if you were just like 4 singles wrestlers, like you're filling so many voids with Desmond Xavier, who's fucking one of the best wrestlers in the world when given the opportunity to, can like really cook if given the time and the space. Trey Miguel, who has cooked for years in TNA and TNA X Division champion and one of the most innovative wrestlers in the world. Like, this is such a huge benefit for AEW. It's going to fill so many places and divisions and slots. Like, signing 4 wrestlers of this caliber, Phil, at this time was perfect.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that Luchasaurus got injured when he did, because I was looking forward to a Jurassic Express tag team run. But with Luchasaurus out, and now you're bringing the Rascalz in, give us Jack Perry and the Bucks versus the Rascalz as soon as possible. Like, that's the trios match we need to see. Like, get that on TV as soon as possible.
Damn! I didn't, because I was like, who could be the guy to join the Young Bucks to wrestle these guys? And yeah, Jack Perry, the way that Jack Perry's been moving the last couple of months and what he's been doing, fucking perfect. When that match goes down, it's going to go down. Make 4 8-man tags too with all 4 of the guys. Like, you got so many, like the Young Bucks and Jet Speed against the Rascalz is like, who, like, I don't, like, my voice, my head, I can't take that. My body can't watch that match. These are all my favorite guys, but this is perfect. And like we're talking about, Bust in the Brain, Alec Price and Jordan Oliver now being a part of that tag team division too. They're fucking crazy. They're balls to the wall. They add a different kind of energy, and those day one vibes, like Philip Lindsey is describing, like kind of what I expected the independent space and what wrestling was outside of WWE to evolve into as AEW. This is the type of stuff that I expected them to do. Sign these guys that are lolling away in TNA, if we're keeping it real, and need to be put in a higher position. Like, the time was now.
Yeah, very exciting signing. I think they can have a lot of fun matches over there. And even if you want to like add them to the mix on ROH, there's so many things they could do over there. There's so many possibilities with these guys. Yeah, hopefully this isn't like signing these guys and they're lost in the mix. I mean, you've got Ace Austin still in the mix over here as well. There's so many matchups you can have. But I mean, I don't know when all of the Guns would be back, but that's another trio you got in the mix. You've got Ace Austin and the Guns that you could put up against Rascalz. You got Juice. Yep. You got Juice as well. So that's a 4-man team you could put up against them. Man, there's so many possibilities here.
Yeah, it feels good for AEW where the roster is going, and people are going to be fighting for spaces. Like, we've said this multiple times. People have said this multiple times. These are some of the best wrestling rosters of all time. Like, with the additions of these guys and everybody that was signed this week, and the way that they're moving, like, we shouldn't see bad matches on you can't, the combinations that you could put together. We shouldn't be seeing bad matches ever. They should be fucking rare in AEW. Like, this roster is the best roster of wrestlers that I've ever seen put together. I mean, you got Swerve, you got Kenny Omega, you got Hangman, you got Myron Reed, you got Ace Austin, you got fucking Hologram, you got Commander. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can go down the list. Persephone and Hechicero got signed this week. Like, the roster is insane. Guys are out. Will Ospreay and Jay White exist in this world. Darby Allin, Pac. Like, this is crazy, Phil. Like, so many heavy hitters, and not just like good wrestlers, great wrestlers, the best wrestlers in the world all exist on this roster.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even like the demand against the Rascalz is a fire trios match.
Dog.
You've got a bunch of these, man. Like you could just keep going. But yeah, like you said, seems like they've got more dual contracts coming out of the CMLL press conference as well. They put up the graphics. Hechicero is officially all elite. Persephone also all elite, and Mascara Dorada also added to the mix as well. After Dorada's showing on pay-per-view last year, couldn't be more excited to see more of him on AEW programming. And Persephone is going to be next up. I still think she's probably going to be the one that beats Mercedes for the CMLL championship. Yes, so I think that this is good news moving forward. CMLL has had a great comeback in last year. A lot of people have been praising their weekly show and their shows. There was a show last night that I didn't watch, but I saw a lot of great clips from it. I saw a lot of people that were saying that there were some great matches there. Yeah, so it's a good time to continue that partnership. You've also got Andrade back in the mix as well, and Andrade can go back to Arena Mexico eventually. You've announced, well, it hasn't been officially announced with AEW, but Tony has confirmed that they will be going back for Grand Slam Mexico. So all of this is a good sign.
Listen, Persephone having a dual contract changes some plans for me, brother, because I was always going down the list of the AEW's women's division and who could be next up or after that for these women's championships. And like Persephone is up there for me. Like if you want to, Persephone as the TBS champion, I think just on TV, running through people, just dominating, carrying that championship over to CMLL and having that in them sold out shows on those Friday nights and people are going ham. If we're looking towards younger people who we got are the future, and you want to establish again kind of what that championship represents, I think she laps some people. She moves up past some people who I would have slotted as having that championship just because of what she represents.
Yeah, so that's exciting news. Like I said, a lot of free agency news coming out of this. Probably the biggest free agent move in this talk this week. Powerhouse Hobbs contract officially expired on Thursday. At the time, he was is still reigning trios champion. A lot of people clearly did not see this coming with the response to it online. I believe it was Meltzer that reported that it seemed like AEW didn't see this coming with the way that he was still present on AEW programming all the way up to this week. He was still 1/3 of the trios champions. It's kind of hard to make heads and tails of this because, how do I put this? Hobbs is probably the closest you can get to a day one guy outside of the initial signings of like the elite members and Britt Baker and all the original foundational AEW roster members. And then he also represented this track to becoming all elite by going to AEW Dark, getting more exposure, earning the trust of the company, and earning the support of the fan base, and getting signed after that. And you've seen that work out so well for so many people like Willow Nightingale or Chris Statlander, and on and on and on. So it's kind of surprising that up to this point, they haven't had like a clear direction for him. And I don't want to get into Tony fumbled him or they didn't do enough with him, but I do think for what he's represented for this company from day one, I am a bit surprised that there was never a straightforward dynamic for him or straightforward direction, because it just seemed like it ended up being thrown in a stable or being somebody's heater or something else. It just felt like every time they gave him something like a TNT title run or the Face of the Revolution ladder match, the fans were into it, and then it was cut short before we can really get a chance to see what he could do.
Yeah, it felt like the fans, anytime he was given a big opportunity, the fans bought in. Like the one that I'm thinking about recently was that match he had with Hangman Adam Page a few months ago, where like
Yeah.
it went off. People were like, make I've seen a lot of people when talking about AEW future world champions being like Powerhouse Hobbs deserves the opportunity. Not the TNT championship, they're like they should make Powerhouse Hobbs the champion because I think fans know what he represents. But yeah, it feels like every time he's almost about to break through, Phil, they just make him another guy in a group. Like it's like, wait, Powerhouse Hobbs is finally away from somebody and it feels good. And then 2 weeks later, they're like, actually, just kidding. He's in this group now. And it's like, he never felt like they were going to make him the guy. And I think that it's unfortunate because, like you said, he took that journey. He took the journey that you think would get him to the big opportunity, the big one-on-one, the big whatever it was, but it just never happened. And so on one hand, he was always in the mix. Like I will say that for the big homie, like always featured on TV. Like if he wasn't hurt, like he was on. Like they gave him, he got big opportunities against Jon Moxley multiple times. Jon Moxley did a lot for the homie's career in AEW. Like off rip, he was paired with Jon Moxley. He always had big matches and opportunities against Jon Moxley. Like Jon Moxley really established who the homie Powerhouse Hobbs was in AEW. Every time I talk to him, he says his favorite wrestling moment up to this point is wrestling CM Punk. And people, that's always funny to people, but he's like, wrestling CM Punk was like the magnum opus of what I've been doing up to this point. So like, I remember seeing him win the Face of the Revolution ladder match. That was a great moment. One of Phil and I's favorite moments in wrestling history is we were at a press conference for AEW. Powerhouse Hobbs come busting in and like berates Wardlow, and Wardlow never recovered after what Powerhouse Hobbs did to this guy. So like there's been a lot of stuff we can latch on to with the AEW thing, Phil, but he just never really got, I don't even know if he started the race to get to the finish line. He was always just kind of a guy in the AEW, and I think there was so much more of that behind it.
Yeah, and like you said, he did get moments where, you know, he would start to get hot, and then the payoff didn't seem to match the reactions he was getting. Because the Face of the Revolution ladder match is prime example of that. When he came in there and cut that promo on Wardlow and slammed the big gold donut on the table, I was like, okay, put the belt on this guy. And then they did, and it felt like a vehicle to just get right back to Wardlow. It never really felt like it had the payoff that it should have for that TNT title run. Even if you go back to the Team Taz stuff, for as interesting as that got, and like the pairing of him and Ricky he was doing the fur coat and everything, we didn't get the payoff for that either. They didn't get a tag title run or nothing. And there's been so many moments like that where he's come on TV and done something really cool, and then it didn't really translate into what we expected for him. I think last year in particular, because this company has been around now for 6 years, people have been saying, all right, you've got to get to it with some of your homegrown AEW stars. Mm-hmm. You got to show them that there is forward momentum for them. Otherwise, this is going to continue to be a problem. Because make no mistake about it, this is going to continue to be a normality. People are going to continue to jump from AEW to WWE and vice versa. Yes. But the thing that is going to make more people want to be loyal to AEW and stay put is rewarding them with forward momentum for their tenure on this roster. And I'm not sure if Hobbs really saw that here. And if that's the case, it's kind of understandable where he was like, okay, let me try my hand at something else because I've done this for 5 years at this point. I think Chris Statlander is a great example of that, where up to this point, if you're not ready to make Chris world champion and see what you have in her at this point, I can see her coming out of this year like, okay, what's next? And you've got so many people like that. That's why it was so important to give Willow the win this year, because you got to, like I said, you got to prove to them that advancement is here for you if you stay the course with this company.
Right, absolutely. I think of somebody like Anna J, Phil, that is like in a
Yeah.
position like that of like been featured, been in big moments, been had the opportunities, but never gotten the opportunity to really cook and shine. And like I could see her being in the same position of like, oh, if my contract's up, I might go explore some other options. I might go see what else is out there. Cause that's really what this comes down about. A bunch of news stories and articles have came out about what kind of transpired. And it was just like, time comes, you fucking start analyzing your career. You look at it kind of like how Phil and I are looking at it. Like, I've had all these moments, I've had all these things. If I stay, what happens? Am I the same guy if I stay? Yeah. Do I progress? What happens? Like, I could get a raise, I can do these things. These are my options over here. Or do I go? Like, there's some people that he worked with in AEW that are now in WWE that have always been big fans of him. The aforementioned CM Punk talks even before he got to AEW, he was like, I want to work with Powerhouse Hobbs. Then they worked together and shit was nice and cool, and they're very cordial still. Cody Rhodes has always been an advocate of the big homie Powerhouse Hobbs. So like he got some people in high places talking highly about him. So I would understand if he went over to WWE. Try that. You just never know, Phil. Like, we talk about all these things, and we talked about it earlier about black wrestlers over there and what they represent, and Oba Femi is gonna be. I was like, this is your direct comp. You only got one fucking competition at one point over there, and it's Oba, because of how they look at wrestlers in your positions, particularly black wrestlers in your position. So it's like, for me, was a lot of emotions. I didn't know this was all happening so fast. Like, it was like, I think we were on the show. I was on the watch along with Denise, and people are in the chat like, Powerhouse Hobbs is leaving. And I'm like, wait, hold on. What do you mean? Like, so everybody slow down. Like, so it seems like, Phil, it was happening on Wednesday as the show was going on. This news was coming out because Powerhouse's contract was expiring at midnight. Like, he was going to be, that's it, like a free agent in wrestling. So apparently he was offered some money with AEW and a bigger contract and things. And I'm sure he's exploring that at this point. And WWE, they've shown interest for many years, it feels like, at this point, just because of who he is and what he represents. So I don't really know at this point right now, Phil. I don't know what Hobbs is going to do. I don't know if because people are like, he's WWE bound. And I'm like, I wouldn't say that. I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's completely true. Like, the AEW could bounce back with an offer and he liked that. And it's so funny about TNA this week and what I was mentioning earlier. Cause like, it's like, what are the options for a person like Powerhouse Hobbs, Phil? Like, Hobbs I don't think like he wants to go to New Japan. Like, I don't really like, what are his options as who he is and what he represents in the landscape of American wrestling?
Yeah, I think it was Fightful Select that reported that AEW did make a substantial offer for Hobbs.
They did.
And he turned it down. And, you know, it's been reported for months now that WWE was interested. And so not really surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in WWE. That's got to be the biggest viable option outside of AEW at this moment. Mm-hmm. The issue for me, though, currently, is it the most opportune time to go over there? Because, I mean, you're now on the road to WrestleMania. He's not going to immediately factor in some of the plans for WrestleMania this late in the game. He could get a Royal Rumble debut, and, you know, of course, that could end up giving him some positive momentum heading into the rest of the year. But I don't know, because like we said earlier, you've got so many guys coming up from NXT now. You've got Oba coming up. You've got Javon coming up. Javon is already up there at this point. You've got so many other moving parts happening And then on top of that, NXT isn't the viable brand that it was to really go there and be the man. Because in any other time, I would think, okay, Hobbs can fill the void. Because we've been talking about for weeks how the men's division and how the world title picture looks. They need somebody. Hobbs could fill that void, but the other problem is who is down there that is really an interesting opponent for him. I think he's going to have, if he goes to NXT, he's going to have the same problem that Ricky had, where it's like, yeah, they put the belt on him, but who's down there for him to have interesting feuds with? Yeah, you can maybe have an interesting feud with Ricky, maybe Ethan Page, but that's kind of it. Tony D'Angelo maybe, but other than that, a lot of more interesting opponents for him have moved on. Trick Williams has moved on. Oba has moved on. Those guys would have been immediately intriguing prospects for a feud with him.
Yeah, him and Oba, I think, would staring off and getting into it, I think would have been some great, incredible TV. I don't like, and then that, I guess that's a thing too. Like there's NXT, there's main roster. Like, does he go? Would he even get a Royal Rumble debut without putting some time into NXT? Like, the time is ticking. The Royal Rumble's coming up in a few weeks. Like, it's time and placement of going is going to factor in how, because people, first impressions mean a lot, man. And however you come and establish yourself in that company and the time and all that is going to mean something. But then, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, and what Phil and I kind of have always talked about in this podcast, I want these wrestlers to get paid. I want everybody to have, I want you to have the best opportunity to make money, support your family, and live your dream and travel the world and do all those things. And like, whoever's offering it should be what it is. But like, we've gotten to a place now, Phil, when we talked about it multiple times, where some people still, the WWE dream and WrestleMania and all that is still a thing.
Yes. Yeah, man. Best of luck to Hobbs and what it is. I'm actually, man. I don't need to go to NXT currently. If you're coming straight from AEW, coming off of a championship run with this company and going somewhere else, I would think he would just debut on the main roster. I would think he would show up in the Rumble. It's in 2 weeks. But see, the issue is, where do you go with him after that? Because if you remember, that was the same thing with Andrade. Andrade came back and was in the Rumble, and then it took a minute to figure out where his landing spot was because he came back so late in the game with plans for WrestleMania. I kind of feel like this is going to head in that same direction if that's the case. But again, I hope if he goes over there, they have a plan for him. I think the thing that works out in his favor is he is looking to WWE is that WWE is clearly still trying to treat AEW wrestlers that come over there very well to entice other AEW wrestlers to jump ship. You've seen how it's worked out for Penta and Cody and a few other names over there, CM Punk, you name it. Some of them, we don't have to get into like what they're doing with Ray Phoenix because I don't really understand what's happening there. But for the most part, most of the AEW wrestlers that have gone to WWE, they're treating them very well. And I have to assume that Hobbs won't be that different because it's in their vested interest to continue to do that, because you want to continue to paint this picture like, hey, man, water's warm over here. If AEW is where the best wrestlers go to wrestle, WWE is supposedly where the grass is greener.
Yeah, it's just like there's so much behind it. You know, personally, like Phil said, I don't watch NXT. I don't watch none of that shit. So, like, my friend going over there, I have to check out his segments, but I'm not going to be tuning in to that shit on a regular basis to just for that. And then, like, what we're talking about with AEW here today and what we're going to continue to talk about, the vibes are shifting. We're getting into some good shit again. We're moving into a really good place over here. We're going to start going up on a different kind of trajectory, and it's like, do you want to hop off the train at this point? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's so many parts of it that I don't know, that I'm just like, you got to look at all the angles. I just want my big homie to get what he deserves, get that big contract, get a place on TV that really feels like it's worth it for him. So whether that be AEW or WWE, I guess we'll see. It was super exciting to, like I was saying, I was going through a lot of his stuff this week just because of what the time is, and looking back at all my tweets and thinking back to those times of like, I remember talking to him when he got the call from AEW and being like, I'm going to Florida, and it was the pandemic and times were weird, and just thinking like, I can't believe I know a wrestler that's going to be down with AEW, and like the quick way that he kind of ascended and what he became, and being at these shows these last couple of years, Phil, and he is present, the way that the people talk about him, the way that I've seen him interact with people. I tell that story of, I was at the Oakland Collision show, and I go to leave, the show is over, and I walk up into the corridor, and he's out there talking and slapping hands with fans and giving autographs. The only wrestler, there's no other wrestlers around. Wrestlers don't even do this. Like, that's not even a thing. And he's just up there in his regular clothes doing that. And that's always the energy. When I was at StarCast, he stood next to me for like 10 minutes. And the way that people look at him and talk to him and interact with him, like, he really made a mark. And I just want that to continue because he really deserves it.
That's what's so interesting, man, because you're right. I've been to shows and I've seen him just like hanging out next to the barricade, just talking to people and like just like high-fiving people, or like when we seen him at StarCast and he was just like walking around, even around the bar area, just like hanging out, just like talking to people. And I feel like they missed out on this big babyface run with him.
They did.
And it's kind of hard. I just don't really know why they didn't ever get to that point with him, but that's neither here nor there. Again, wish this guy the best of luck in whatever he does. It is just kind of wild when you think of like the timeline of him going over there, and you know, like you said, you were saying the whole time, this guy is gonna be it. This guy is dope, and seeing like his progression from AEW Dark and then getting to the main show and getting the Mox match, and I mean seeing two of my friends work on his theme song at one point, like, and everything that came around, like, it's just like, man, what a run, man. What a ride.
Dude, some of my favorite wrestling moments, some of my bucket list wrestling moments in life happened because of Powerhouse Hobbs. Like, I think back to when they played my song and he walked out to it. Like, that was like, I could have been done here just off of that. And like the fact that it was him, like, it's just, man. Shout out to my homeboy. He is chilling right now, kicking it, just sitting back with family, enjoying his life. So I hope he makes it happen. I'm happy to see what's next. It's an interesting time in professional wrestling. Feels crazy outside.
Yeah, I was just chuckling like 2 weeks ago thinking about the last time we saw him, and it was basically like Friday After Next, where he's like standing behind us like Damon with his arm around both of us. I'm like, this is a big dude, man. Like, get off, let me go. Get off me.
Dude, I was looking at it. It's me, him, and BK at the karaoke show in Texas, and like, he was mad at me for some reason then, and he just kept talking shit to me. And it's just like, even when he does like playful pushes or like joking things, it hurts because he's gigantic. Like, this is a huge dude, and the world is still his, man. Like, he still has the opportunity to make something in this wrestling world. And that's what this whole week was about. Like, my timeline on Wednesday night, Phil, like, we're going to get into Maximum Carnage. Like, my timeline was talking about Powerhouse Hobbs more than the wrestling show that had just happened. And to know that my friend went from being a full-on AEW Dark to the wrestling world is talking about him is super dope.
Yeah, I know that the Tony fumble thing will be a thing, but regardless of what you think and what we were saying about forward momentum for Hobbs, this was a net positive for him. He went from a relative unknown to a guy this week where almost all of the thumbnails I saw in most of these like outlets was Powerhouse Hobbs. Everybody's talking about this guy. He is a coveted free agent at this point. He could easily go to WWE and have a strong run. I still don't think AEW has quite cracked the code with the big men wrestlers yet. And now he's going to this place that has been called the land of the giants for a long time. And he could end up in a legacy with other big men wrestlers over there. I don't know. I really hope it works out for him, man. I don't know, man. There's so many what ifs.
Oh, another big advocate for the big homie, Big E. He has such a great relationship with Big E. Like,
yeah.
All these things, I'm like, okay, I totally would understand if, you know what I mean. But I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Let's see what y'all are talking about here in the super chat land, and we'll move forward some more. The homie Ben Sifner says, I am not here to glorify Scott D'Amore, but I think you see why he is gone. It's so you can get this WWE but worse crap.
Yeah, I think at least when Scott D'Amore was in charge over there, it was a product. And now you see with the announcements with Ring of Honor Global Wars, and they're going to be pairing with Maple Leaf Pro that weekend. And the Maple Leaf Pro show has really felt like what TNA was when Scott D'Amore was in charge. So it's interesting to watch, man. I think when you move on from a guy, you should, get better and move forward. That hasn't been the case here.
It's like, oh wait, no, we knew that you guys were making a mistake when you guys let him go, and now we know you totally made a huge mistake by letting him go. I don't know, but yeah, it seems like he's cooking over there. There's doing some collaboration shows. They have a collaboration show with Ring of Honor, like you said, coming up in Canada that I think is going to be super dope. Ring of Honor is also doing a collaboration show with Athena's wrestling brand.
Yeah.
I think in February they announced for that. So like, I'm loving what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Ben. The homie Joel Allcoin says, wish the best to the both of you. I always watch every week. Appreciate that, Joel.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Anybody that comes every single week, or even if you don't have to submit super chats, just being here and acknowledging that you're part of it, participating in the chat, like, we love it, man. You guys are dope. The homie Rick Young says, still smoking on that pack. Back to the OG ops members. Bear Down also was in there.
What time it is, man. I don't know if I have the energy to go into another rant. I don't know if my voice will sustain it. But I appreciate you, bro. That pack is absolutely still in the air, man.
Yeah, back to the OG ops members, like you said, Rick. I think that Hook can attribute a lot to his development, to being next to Hobbs and doing all that stuff. So they he was helping along the way too. It wasn't just all about him.
Yeah.
The homie Curtis Brooks says Ospreay versus Alexander happened in TNA just 2 years ago. Feels like a million years ago.
Man, I said it. I don't know if you saw that clip of all of Will Ospreay's highlights as a junior heavyweight, and I was like, this feels like it was like a parallel universe at this point. Like, this feels like a completely different timeline compared to who Will Ospreay has become at this point. And he's probably going to evolve again because he's going to have to change his style of wrestling coming back after a neck surgery.
Yep. I sometimes see clips of him from PWG or like old Best of Super Juniors clips, and I'm like, this wrestler doesn't exist anymore. It's just like when you see old Ricochet clips and you're like, damn, you know that they can both still do it, but they've evolved their style to do something else. And yeah, it's going to be even interesting to see his newly evolved style, because he's going to have to change the way things are working in this. And both these guys are in AEW now. Alexander's finally, after a gazillion years, and I feel like I talked to him during my PWI interview, and he said, My fucking dream match is Kenny Omega. Give me this one-on-one Kenny Omega match. Anytime they mention Kenny Omega to Josh Alexander, he's like, give me the fucking match. They're finally giving him the match. Thank God. Just let my homie have the match. He wants to have the match, and it's gonna bang. What are y'all doing? Appreciate that, Curtis. The other Mikey V says MJF Bandito was great, and the post match was fantastic. It's amazing how compelling Max can be when he doesn't go for the low hanging fruit on the mic. I thought it's been super interesting this week, Phil, that after that promo that Swerve cut about Max loving acceptance and wanting, he loves when you guys cheer. He wants to have that admiration. That he did that Bandito promo this week, and telling Busta in the Brain that they're all elite. Those are super babyface things, and this guy's supposed to be a heel.
Yeah, was very interesting. Yeah. I don't know what to make of that. I think that Max so far as champion, so far so good. I've enjoyed the matches. I think he's done well as an ambassador for the company again.
Amazing.
So, yeah. I have no complaints so far. It kind of feels like we're heading towards Kenny Omega versus Max at the next pay-per-view based on that segment we got this week, because Kenny and Hangman were very chummy, and Swerve did not look like he was feeling that.
I keep saying the Swerve and Hangman it's not long for this world, man. These guys did some horrendous things too. I think they were helping each other as a means to an end, but like they're not. This isn't the best friends. They're not going to ride off into the sunset with each other. Like it's going to get back to it.
Yeah.
And I saw shades of it this week when Swerve was looking in the back like, what y'all shaking hands for in the middle of the ring right here? That's nasty. He didn't like that at all.
The thing that I really like about Swerve's return is that even though he has been aligned with Hangman, he still has been saying the same thing since he came back. I want to be AEW World Champion again. Mm-hmm. Everything I'm doing is to get back in the hunt for that belt. And for Kenny Omega to throw his hat in the ring and immediately come out there and get in the middle of this, I don't think he liked that at all, because I think he sees it as, hey, I respect Hangman at this point. We've been through hell together. He did it. He was the guy that brought the AEW World Championship back to the light after the fighters reign of terror. No, he don't want to hear none of the rest of this. Max is in the mix. Get out of here. Why are you in the middle of this? This ain't got nothing to do with you. Now Kenny in the mix. Hey, get out of the way. If you're in the way of me winning the world title again, it ain't no more of this like, let's be friends. He's not trying to be friends with everybody. I'm not even sure he's entirely trying to be friends with Hangman. He just respects him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this has been some of my favorite AEW championship time just off of this. Every time these guys pick up the mic, they're like, I want that belt. And that's how it always should be. And they're like, I know, even like the baby faces are like, I know you like this other baby face, but I'll beat his ass because I want that championship. And that's how wrestling should be. We're all trying to win this championship, you guys. I don't know when we're trying to tell other stories, we don't need to. I got one reason that I'm here, and that's to win the championship. And it's going to be even sweeter if I get to beat Max's ass. Like that plays a part too, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, all of this, that segment is exciting to me. Just having those three wrestlers in the ring. I've been saying for over a year now, one of the last big matches for Swerve in AEW that I want him to get is the Kenny Omega match. It feels like we are closer to that. Hopefully this ends up as like a feud for them. This isn't just like a standoff and it never gets to pay off. Hopefully we get a match out of this. I kind of hope we get an extended feud out of it, to be honest.
It feels like the one Swerve match that's been sitting there since he came in. We were all like, Kenny Omega, Kenny Omega, Kenny Omega. We need that Kenny Omega match just because they've had interactions before, but as these two entities, they haven't got to lock up one-on-one, and it's feeling like it's getting closer and closer. Like some interruptions this week. Kenny Omega talks some shit about Swerve. Swerve gave him a dirty look. Like, we are inching closer to where we need to get. That's what's so exciting about Kenny Omega. And like the bittersweet kind of unfortunate thing of like he's been injured a lot of the AEW run, so there's still a bunch of dream matches that we never even got that are kind of sitting here. And then on top of that, we've gotten a bunch of new signings. And Kenny Omega, while I think he will and should win the AEW World Championship this year, I don't think that he needs to. Like he represents something just having a match with him, and I think that's what this Swerve stuff hopefully we're getting to is going to mean.
Yeah, definitely. Just the idea of us getting to that matchup finally is the best thing coming out of that segment. The more and more I see Swerve come out to this new theme and entrance and everything, it feels like a heel entrance, guys.
It does.
He took away the thing that the crowd could sing along with. It's slow paced. It kind of feels like head of the table, Roman, slow walk to the ring. Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before he turns heel again. If you're doing a big feud with Kenny Omega, the crowd is not going to boo Kenny Omega.
No, they can't. They won't. I notice it, Phil, when Swerve gets down to, when he walks down to the ramp and he gets to the bottom of the ramp and he stands there and he takes it all in. I'm like, I see exactly what's going on here. I know exactly what's happening. And I like it. Swerve is so funny. I remember when he was coming into AEW and I did that interview with him for PWI and we did the interview with him for Grapsody. And we were like, how are you, like, ain't nobody was so tonight. We were just excited. We're like, hopefully Tony Khan licenses this. There's like, you gotta bring it back. And Swerve was like, nope, I'm not. He's like, I'm moving on. I'm doing something different. And I remember being like, oh, this might be a bad idea. But then hearing that song and playing it that weekend before he debuted and rocking out in a fucking elevator and all these things. And it eventually became exactly what he said it was going to become. And again, I was like, you can't change the fucking top rope catch a bot like that. That's so synonymous with Swerve. And I think I already understand where it's going to lead. And I think it's already working. Like that was such a baby face ass theme. You had Nana dancing. Like there was too many things connected to his baby faceness.
Yeah, it is wild to think about it that at one point people were like, nah, you got to do Ain't Nobody. And now we're to the point where Big Pressure got so popular that it was like, well, how could you possibly change Big Pressure? Like this was a big part of your AEW run and now they're not using it anymore. It's crazy just how quickly things happen. But yeah, this definitely feels like big match heel energy for him. Like everything about it just feels like this is going to be him walking to the ring pay-per-views at that pace that we see from a lot of WWE wrestlers.
That's funny because I noticed it in Texas when he came out to Ain't Nobody and we were going ham because we know what it represents, but it was kind of like, it wasn't the response that I was expecting. And that's just because AEW fans love Big Pressure so much. It's not because they don't like Ain't Nobody. Like the Swerve they know comes out to Big Pressure.
And a lot of AEW fans, even though AEW fans watch more wrestling for the most part, like a lot of core audience watched indie wrestling and they watch, stuff that he might have done with Ain't Nobody. Majority of the fan base only knows his AEW run, so they only know him coming out to Big Pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so good on him on flipping that. The homie Eloquent says, I'm done giving TNA chances. My time always wasted. I'm trying to think of a time when it hasn't, like when they just had a successful one where people like, we're good here. Like there's always something like you just gotta expect it. You gotta be okay with taking the shit in order to be a TNA fan. And like, I don't know if that's a good strategy.
Yep.
It's crazy. They're trying to get new fans, Eloquent. They want to get people to come again, and this is what they're doing. It's insane. Appreciate that, Eloquent. The homie Bianca Leia says, my Animal Crossing update was more entertaining than TNA. Number 2, stop the cap. Rascalz is going to run crazy in AEW. I would love to see Killer Kelly there too. Now Jordan Oliver Alec Price. TK is cooking. Absolutely, Bianca. I think there's been a bunch of great additions to the AEW roster. TNA is making some interesting choices. They're releasing a lot of people that are the core of what the company represents. The people on their roster are coming out with some crazy quotes. I think Mike Santana had a wild quote this week, and the homegirl Ash by Elegance quote about the people not being able to cut it. And I'm like, I don't know what these people are saying or why they're saying it, but it's crazy. Some person that apparently is not on the internet enough was like, they should bring in Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich. And I was like, are you sure? You sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I don't think we'll be seeing. I don't think we'll be seeing Masha again anytime soon.
Like, we will in wrestling because wrestling don't give a fuck, but not on AEW.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing that.
Appreciate that, Bianca. Devil Kazuya says, who'd have guessed Kit Wilson's outshines Matt Cardona's return?
Bro, it's crazy how quickly the Kit Wilson entrance has gotten over. But man, it just goes to show, man, Pretty Deadly was such an entertaining tag team. Well wishes to Elton. That injury sounds sounds devastating. It sounds like it's going to be a while before we see him again. Speedy recovery to him. But yeah, just how quickly this Kit Wilson thing has gotten over just tells you that they had something in Pretty Deadly, and I wish that they had done more with them when they had a chance.
Absolutely. I thought Pretty Deadly was like the next great tag team in WWE. If I'm being completely honest, like I thought that they had all the tools to specifically succeed in this company. I'm like, they do the bits, they can work, they're funny, they got promos. Like, this seems like a home run. So yeah, it seems like that's where that was leading. What do you think Matt Cardona's ceiling is in WWE, Philip Lindsey? What does he think he's gonna get out of this?
I don't know. The way that he's been used already for the last 2 weeks, I don't know where this is going. I don't see the trajectory for it already.
I mean, with Matt Cardona, not for nothing, because I saw a lot of people on the indie side and the GCW guys being like, he used us. I can't believe he would come in here and do that to independent wrestling. There wasn't one moment where Matt Cardona was on the indies where he wasn't trying to get back to WWE. And he made that apparent. I'm not mad at him because the whole time he was like, this is a vehicle. You know what I'm doing. I'm trying to make a lot of noise to get back up there. And if you're loud about it, I'm not going to be mad about it. It's the other people that fake and act like some other shit to get back there. And you know that they're doing it and they act like they're dumb. He was out loud with his intentions were very clear. And I understand him going back there with his wife and wanting the life of that, action figures and things. Like, of course he was going to go back to WWE.
And man, he did the work. It wasn't like he just went to the indies and did some appearances here and there and was overcharging promotions and not showing up and actually being a part of the ecosystem. Like, bro, Brett Lauderdale did that whole thread about everything he was doing with GCW, how he was like, giving his time to that company, trying to help out other people and not asking for anything in exchange. And man, you can't do anything but applaud that, man. Like, even if you don't agree with everything he did or him going back to WWE, I don't think this was ever a thing where he was just like, hey, I'm down here just for the look.
Yeah, and that's the best part that Matt Cardona did in the indies was he wasn't a selfish guy. Like, he was working working like everybody else in the same locker rooms as those people, doing all the stuff that all the other independent wrestlers were, and being a leader, helping people out. He was buying people boots and things and helping people with their careers when he did not have to. Let the homie Matt Cardona cook. He did the work, just like Philip Lindsey said. He's making it so that the next generation has a blueprint and he's carving it. So shout out to him. The homie Ben Sifner also says, is Hobbs one of those people who believes WWE is the big leagues? Because I don't get why you presumably take a big pay cut. History would tell you he would be nothing more than a sideshow.
Well, my thing is, and I think a lot of wrestling fans have to understand, people's career aspirations are a very personal choice. And so
Yes.
he, after 5 years with AEW, he might be just ready to do something else. And it didn't matter what they offered him. He's just ready to try his hand at something else and see how it works out for him. And it might work out. But man, if staying anywhere for 5 years is a long time. And if he just feels like, hey man, I just want to do something else, I just want to see what else is out there, I can't really blame him for that, man. That's not really up to us. Like, we can't just decide, oh, well, stay somewhere where we want you to work because that's my preferred wrestling company. No, this is his life, and it's up to him to decide what he wants to do.
And that wasn't the vibes that I got from him talking to him. It wasn't like, I'm going to WWE, they're better than AEW, or like, I got to get out of here, this is the Bush Leagues. It was just like, different opportunities. I want to see what life it could be like over there. It's not about one's better than the other or one's anything like that. It's just about like, there's a bunch of stuff behind the scenes that people don't know, and they're telling their own stories and creating their own narratives. And like, you don't know what could have happened. You don't know how this goes on. But beyond that, Hobbs has never said a bad word about AEW. He never will say a bad word about AEW. Him and Tony's relationship was very good at the end of this. And I think there's space for him to come back or stay or anything. I don't even know what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks, but I think that the relationship is good. It can continue to be good. It wasn't about, fuck you, I'm going to WWE. WWE's better.
Yeah. It seems like the way he left was professional. Seems like it's amicable. So we never know. He could go somewhere else and it might not work out, and he could end up back in AEW. Crazier things have happened.
Absolutely. Because, like, there's now a blueprint, like we were talking about earlier, Phil, of like AEW wrestlers over there. Like, now he can look at Rusev, and now he can look at Phoenix, and now he can look at Aleister Black, and he can analyze what can I, in somebody in my position or a little bit lower or around the same thing, what are they doing over in WWE? Could that be my same fate?
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Ben. The homie DeBuzz, Aaron Busby, says, rank your top J. Cole projects, which include mixtapes. Also, I'm not dissing. I'm stating facts. That's all. Y'all excited for the fall off. Here we go.
Yeah, I have all of the J. Cole projects in front of me at the moment. I would have to do some some Google foo.
Mm-hmm.
Bear with me for a second.
I think his last album is at the top for me. What's his last album?
Yeah, hold on.
Or KOD?
I wrote last album. I think Austin's his last album.
Off season. Now, maybe KOD then off season, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see. From 2011. Yeah, from 2011 on, I'm just going through all his solo albums. His studio albums are World, Born Center, 2014 Forest Hill Drive, For Your Eyes Only, KOD, and the Off Season. For me, I think Off Season is number one. Number two is probably Forest Hill Drive. But depending on the day, Forest Hill Drive might be number one because that's probably my favorite Cole album. But I think in terms of like the quality of the music, the quality of the rapping, it's hard to put it over Off Season. Then third, I would put Born Center. Born Center is another one that could easily end up at number one. Born Center is a great album. Then put KOD. Then I would put Cold World, and then For Your Eyes Only. And I don't dislike For Your Eyes Only. I'm just ranking it below those albums in terms of my personal preference.
Yeah, same here. I'd go. I think KOD might be my favorite Cole rapping album. Then the Off Season, then Forest, Fort Hill Drive, um, Born Center, and For Your Eyes Only. Yeah. I like For Your Eyes Only also too. Like Neighbors, I play Neighbors all the fucking time, but like as far as like a complete project,
Bro,
I think that's at the bottom.
I was gonna say the same thing that Neighbors is one of my favorite J. Cole records. I remember going to see him at the United Center, and he performed that, and I was like, nah, he could whatever else he does with this set don't matter. Neighbors is a dream. Um, he gets a lot of folding clothes record to sign For Your Eyes Only, but there's some great songs on there. For Your Eyes Only is kind of a concept album as well, and I think the concept of the album is good. Um, but just for my personal enjoyment, I think some of his other albums are better. I think KOD, like you said, is a great album. ATM is one of my favorite J. Cole records as well. I don't care where I am. ATM, Neighbors, and Middle Child are songs where I don't care where I'm at, those go up.
Great record, dude. Middle Child is crazy, man. See, that's why I can't count Cole out because like
Bro,
he has those songs in his catalog, and it's like you can't count this guy out. Appreciate that, Busby. You are being a hater though, you little hater. The homie Rounded Leo says WWE has an issue with black wrestlers, but AEW has not booked Hobbs good, and AEW don't book black wrestlers that good. There is a conversation to be had about if you're a black wrestler in AEW. The ceiling, Swerve is getting all the main event opportunities, and I think that Kevin Knight is on his way to also being in that place. There's also a conversation to be had about AEW too, because I think like in the main event, like besides Kevin Knight, it doesn't feel like there's anybody that's next. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, when you look at what AEW has done for certain black women like Athena or Jade, or even the run that Mercedes has gone on so far, which, by the way, the Mercedes segment from Collision last week, fire. I think that was the best way to handle it after the celebration angle of having her say, I'm going to take some time off. That line of heroes don't win divisions, icons does. I was like, ooh, that's a bar. I have to assume that this means she's going to be away at least until Revolution. Revolution isn't until, what, March?
Yep.
Or February?
It's March in LA.
Okay, so, yeah, so for the next 2 months, having Mercedes off TV and showing back up by the time we're at Revolution, that makes a ton of sense, and I thought that segment was great. But yeah, I do think it is something to be said about some of the black talent and how we didn't get the run that we probably should have gotten with Private Party, how Top Flight hasn't really ascended to the levels we thought that they would at this point. I think Hobbs is in that conversation with the big men wrestlers, because there's been so many big men wrestlers where I feel like they could have elevated them up to the world title picture and did more with them. I think Brody King could be the guy that eventually breaks that glass ceiling for big men wrestlers over. If it's him at this point, I don't know why they don't. I would still say, though, even for some of my issues with AEW booking black talent, I don't know, man. They haven't booked a black world champion. Sorry, the competition hasn't booked a black world champion the way that Swerve was booked in the past 5 years or so.
Yeah.
I think it's night and day when you compare those things. Yeah, you say things like NXT has done well with black women. The crop of talent coming from NXT right now is very diverse, but they still haven't really proven on roster that they will book them well. I mean, say what you will about Swerve and like the world title run. He's still been consistently in main storylines. He's consistently one of the mainstays on TV. I think they could do more with other black talent, but then you can't the Lee Marty had last year, or you know, like I said, what Athena has done and so on and so on. It's not perfect, of course, but I do think like when you compare it to other companies, it's not really the same.
Yeah, definitely. And I forgot about fucking Shelton and Lashley, who like when Lashley comes back and he gets established, like he's in the world title picture for sure. And like, yeah, breaking it down like that, like I think they can start like Phil said, the black women in AEW have been given some good opportunities and have made the most of what they've been given. The black men, I think there could be more up there. I think Kevin Knight is going to be something special. They're already setting him up pretty highly for that. We're getting Myron and Dez over here from the Rascalz. Like I think there's a lot. Like it's gonna start to improve and grow, and some undeniable black talent are featured on the roster. So it's good over here. It's good. It's nut up or shut up time, as they say, for both companies. I think this year for black male talent, and we'll see how it goes.
It is. Yeah, I just saw in the chat someone was saying what happened to Lashley. I believe he's injured, so
Yeah,
that's
hurt.
why he hasn't been on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Lashley is out with injury. I think MVP did he had a quote a couple weeks ago saying that, and I don't want to say it's significant, but it's some months I think attached to whatever the injury is. Appreciate that, Leo. Non-Disc says, Jets fan, self-hating, rooting for Bears. Last week's win felt like Jets playoffs win over the Pats in 2001 divisional round. Biggest win of my lifetime.
yeah. Just I can't describe how good it felt, man. And it's mostly because this team. It would have felt the opposite. I think if the Bears had just made it to the wild card and lost, I would have been like, well, that was a fun season. No, losing in a wild card to them, I couldn't stomach it.
That one would have hurt.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Ben Sifner says, bear down, fuck the Packers. More Packers hate. Louis V also says it's Chicago. This must have been when Phil was going off on his Chicago bits.
I love that has become the thing now. I've seen so many athletes from this city now saying that it's Chicago. I'm just like, dog. Chance doing the rap for that Bears thing this week as well. It's like, man, it just feels like the city is really back.
Good time. Shout out to Chicago, man. Well deserved. Busby says how Phil feels about Packers. That's how I feel about the Seahawks. As long as they don't go to Levi's, that's all that matters to me. Yeah, if the Seahawks end up being in the Super Bowl game, that would be devastating to Bay Area people all around. They hate them.
Yeah.
The Seahawks. Unbelievable. Appreciate that, Busby. Grapple Geekery says Killer Kelly is all elite soon. Here's hoping.
Yeah, I would like to see Kelly make the jump.
Yeah, I think what she represents, she was when she was the kind of the head of the Knockouts division and they were putting the emphasis and having the cool promos and things attached to it. That was dope. I hope they get back to that in AEW if she does work over there. Orion Ben says, give me that BTE Treehouse segment ASAP. We need it.
Yeah. Bro, they are tailor-made for that kind of content, man.
That's what I was going to be like. I think they can up the ante a little bit in this company and push a little bit more boundaries. I think it's going to get super fun and like smoking weed, man. Not going to say what I was going to say. I'm going to keep that. Appreciate that, Orion Ben. Mr. Best in the World says, happy Grapsody. Glad to finally catch you guys live as I'm usually working today. Those Christmas leftovers still hitting. That's crazy.
I beg your pardon?
Let me see. January 17th. You wildin', brother.
Be careful, man. Just all I got. Just be careful, bro.
Listen, if they're frozen and you're unfreezing them and doing all that, maybe there's something to it. But if they just been in the fridge, like you don't. Appreciate that. Orion also says praying for Reg in his time of loss. Good luck to Hobbs. I mean, I saw him have some of my favorite moments here in the Bay Area. They always put an emphasis when AEW would come here. So, like, I'm pretty satisfied, you guys. Like, I think that his next steps in his career, I'll be able to watch the videos and clips, and it'll be just as fun. Oh, man. Appreciate that. Meet Norma says, sup, partners, let's crank. I'm still in mourning over the Hobbs news. I'm happy for him if he's happy, but if he comes out with a Nigerian accent, I'll cry.
Oh my God! Please no. Please no.
I was gonna say you can't change who he is because we know what his past is, but that's the same thing for fucking Apollo. We knew what his past was, and they still changed him. So, yeah, I don't know. There was some talk this week about what's his name change, because I don't expect him to be Powerhouse Hobbs if he goes to the WWE. But I mean, Will Hobbs is still a thing, so maybe it's just that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
It's all up in the air, brothers. Appreciate that, Meet Enormous. Van Twinblade says, as Orion said, Hobbs with Woods and Kofi as a manager, but make Woods call him E sometimes. The hashtag drama.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I think that Hobbs has to come in as his own guy. I wouldn't be mad at pairing him with Kofi and Woods, but the thing is, they have no momentum right now. I think if their heel turn had gone differently and you bring him in as a replacement for E, then yeah, you're going to get a ton of heat on Hobbs and you could do interesting things with that, but it feels like that's a year too late now.
Yeah, I think that they need to try to establish him as a singles guy and as himself coming in, but eventually things could happen. But I don't know. As time moves on, I think the New Day stuff is going to continue to subside unless they put something in it, and I don't know if they're going to continue to put something into it.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Van. Orion also says, okay, chat, we need a new AEW Reg theme. Which wrestler? I was talking this week, Phil, because the homie BK has finally been released from the shackles of the learning tree. And in the song Bad Apple, I made sure to not have one lyric about apples or bad apples or anything. So when you listen to my verse, you wouldn't know that it's about a bad apple. You think I'm just rapping about Brian Keith. So Ruckus, if you flip the little bad apple part into Bounty Hunter or something else, the song still stands.
Bro, doing the gospel record, shackles off my feet so I could dance. I just want to praise him.
Praise him. Look, I'm telling you, it's time, brother. But yeah, Jericho's out of here. He's somewhere else. The theme still stands. I'm telling you, no bad apple references on my verses, dog. Let's keep going with it. Because he just got that generic old thing that he has now. And you guys are putting him back on TV in one-on-one matches. He needs a theme.
Come on, man. Get back to it. He looked, man. I don't want to get back to complaining about how
BK, that's another guy we could have mentioned in the Black
I never felt like that was the right move for BK. Yeah, that was never the right move for BK. People kept saying, but he's on TV, and I was just like, no, I just don't think he fits. But you know, you got to give it time to play out. We let it play out, and yeah, we can just move on from that time period.
Yeah, because I mean, in theory, Phil, when you look back and analyze the whole situation, you think Chris Jericho, TV, time, all that, you're like, okay, this should and could work. You know what I mean? But it was kind of Chris Jericho realizing what his place was in AEW and how times are moving, and fans were feeling a different way about the learning tree, and all the TV stuff was not that great. So it's like it was probably you want to be next to Chris Jericho, but this might be the worst time in history to be next to Chris Jericho as a wrestling character.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Appreciate that, Orion Ben. Mandak says, hey guys, do you think they could have freebirded the belts for the ops instead of what might happen tonight? Wink, wink.
Maybe, but they hadn't really set the precedent to do that. So maybe you could have done that and just put Hook in the mix, but kind of seems clear what's going to happen tonight.
And it's beyond the Hobbs stuff. I think it's just time for the run of the ops as trios champions. We got it. We're about to have the Rascalz here. Like, we're going to establish some new things. We got to start moving forward in a different direction with these belts. So it was about time anyways.
Yeah.
They could have if they established that rule, but they didn't really establish that rule. Appreciate that, man, Dax. The great Devlin says, absolutely love everything going on around the title except the champion. My stock in Max is at rock bottom, while all the contenders, even Joe, are fascinating. This is 2023 all over again.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they've got options with Max. I think if nothing else, I think that this week's episode of Dynamite showed that we're in a different space. Because I thought the segment that they did last week with him and Bandito was great. It was different than the usual. Max comes out and cuts a promo, runs the baby face down. We actually got some funny stuff. Bandito came out the other side of it looking pretty good. And the main event this week was super fire, man. Like, Max wrestles luchadors really good, man. I think he gets a lot out of that style of wrestling. Bandito was incredible in this main event, to nobody's surprise. All the way to the end of it, it felt like Max could win. Max using the salt of the earth and then transitioning it into the label lock to win. I didn't see that coming. And like I said, Bandito came out of it looking strong. He didn't tap out. So I can understand people that have some reservations for Max as champion, but there's so many great options in baby faces at the moment, and I think you're going to get good matches out of Max. So I'm not too bothered by it. So, and I mean, with all the baby faces around this scenario, you kind of need a big heel champion as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think Max is in a really good place right now, and like the luchadors and kind of the stuff that he's been doing, I think he's going to try to work a different angle than he was previously as AEW World Champion, and I think it's going to work for people. I don't think we're going to end this one the same way we end the last one, and I think people are going to come to respect what Max is doing a lot more. Interesting transitions, like I was saying the last couple of weeks, of being locked in with Hangman and Swerve and what came of that, and those things with Joe and kind of where he is now. And it's like he's working really well and he's putting people over kind of while doing it. It's interesting to see how the rest of his AEW World Championship reign develops because of where it's going to go, Kenny Omega and all these things. I'm into the Max stuff right now.
Yeah. Orion says, Reg is going full Shabuzi and doing the new Bandito theme. That sounds hilarious, bro. The idea of you like on the Bandito theme and it's like everybody in the crowd doing it. They're gonna do the man Macarena.
Macarena. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Like, I mean, crazier things have happened, but I don't think I'm gonna be cooking on my Shabuzi vibes. Shout out to Shabuzi though.
That'd be pretty goddamn funny though. Nah, big shout outs to Shabuzi, man. That guy's out of here.
Absolutely. Appreciate that, Orion. Tyrone Kidd says, can't wait for the debut of Hobbs Swoggle. That's crazy. Listen, I could get beat up by proximity here. Don't forget, like, Hobbs be watching these shows. He might find me for what y'all said, so leave me out of this. Appreciate that, Tyrone. The homegirl Shanika says, seeing Omega Alexander in person this week, so I am hype. I say it often, but every time we get to see Kenny now, it's a gift. Signs and shirts are ready. What's up, Shanika? I hope that you're having a good day. I am having FOMO already. I'm jealous that you're going to see that amazing match because it's years in the making at this point.
Yeah. Have a great time. That should be a fun one.
Where's the show at? I don't think I know. I appreciate that, Shanika. Tyrone Kidd also says, but seriously, congrats to Powerhouse. Best of luck. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Ben Simpner also says, if he just wants to change, that is cool. I hope he doesn't have unrealistic expectations. Good luck to a good guy. Now, he knows exactly what his expectations are.
Yeah. Yeah. Shauna's saying that show is in Orlando, by the way.
Oh, Florida. Shout out to the Florida homies. That should be fun. Ben also says, can you come up with the new name for him, Reg? Will Hobbs. That's it. That's what it is. Yeah, because I don't know if but WWE loves like that. They might try to come up with another fucking powerhouse adjective or something because they like that kind of shit with his gimmicks. But I could also see just going with his real name, you know?
Yeah.
And then Grapple Geekery with our final super chat for now says, choose one, Hobbs with the new terrible name and gimmick, or the Rascalz and Don Callis family. Also, Brian Keese needs a new theme, Reg. New Reg theme. Rascalz and Don Callis family, because I want my friend to have a good name and good gimmick. Because they could make it work at least. I think he could too, but it'll be harder.
No, you just can't put them in the Don Callis family. No. You can't do that to them, man.
We can't have any more Don Callis family additions. And I think they're going to be baby faces anyway, so nah. But I would choose that if it's between one of the two. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I guess. Yeah, look, man. Again, that's your chance again, right? Rocky said I need a brand new thing. When I gotta get a brand to keep, yeah.
Rocky said I need a brand new theme, yeah. I cannot get in my Shabuzi bag. I just can't. I appreciate that, Gravel Geekery. Then Rafael Garcia says, get your bag in any way you can, but hear me when I say if they make you Hubba Tonga, throw down the well. Hubba Tonga is crazy. Hubba Tonga, throw Paul to the wall.
Hubba Tonga is hilarious, bro.
Hubba Tonga, throw Paul to the wall.
Crazy.
Playing Paul Wall, Happy Trails, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Hubba Tonga, bro. If he come out there with like the makeup and everything on, bro, with the singlet, Hubba Tonga, bro. Hey.
I don't even like that energy being put into the air, dog. That's crazy. Hubba Tonga. Hey, thanks everybody for those super chats. That was a good amount today.
Hubba Tonga is hilarious, bro. Oh, bro. We got Humper chats.
Hubba Tonga.
Got Humper chats from regular Humper chatter, Tony P. Tony says, Phil knows something I wanted to be petty of the week, but I know most people wouldn't have understood why that was so vicious. So keeping it in a wrestling space, I'm going to go and give it to both Fatu for what he did to Kit and MJF for his post-speech beatdown. Yeah, it might go to Jacob this week. The MJF thing, I saw it coming a mile away. When he started saying, man, you are going to be an AEW world champion one day, I was like, oh, this ain't going well. And it went exactly like I thought. He started beating him down right afterward.
Yes, great angle. I like them putting him over. I think that, just like Phil said, like, Bandito, we went into this match pretty much, a lot of us knowing that Bandito wasn't going to win. But by the end of the match, people had bought in that he could win. That's how good he is.
Yeah. More of a Tony P says, with that, do you two have your own winners? The good AJ versus Big Goat, the Bronze Spear, Dynamite overall was Swerve, Kenny T's, the free agency moves. Congrats to Hobbs, Rascalz, CMLL people, and Jordan and Alec. The wrestling on SmackDown, Mello versus Leon, and Sammy Ilya. Yeah, people did not care for the way that Gunther won that match over AJ Styles. Going from this guy just beating people down and doing the seemingly impossible and forcing John Cena to give up to then having this match with AJ where he just outsmarts him instead of just beating him outright. I hate when WWE does these things where they give us a match on a smaller stage and so they have to prolong it. If you want to save this match for a big stage, just do that. Don't do the match here and then do this finished so that we have to go back to it later and people don't like the finish. Just if you want to hold off, just hold off. Why did you start promoting this match if you weren't ready to give us a satisfying conclusion to it?
That's one of my least favorite things in modern wrestling, Phil, is we get this dream match, this match that we're really wanting, and they're either thinking about the next match or there's something plays a role in why we didn't just get a cool match with the cool finish right here. Like, wrestlers are good enough, I'll tell you guys, in management and wrestling, to have 2 good matches. If there's 3 matches scheduled, most wrestlers at this level can have 3 different good matches. You don't have to have one of them have a shitty whatever to help with the rest of the matches. We could see 3 good matches, but they just finishes these days and this year and this lifetime isn't the greatest. So I totally understand.
Yeah. But from what I saw, I didn't mind it. I thought the AJ Gunther stuff was fine, but I can understand people that were like, why did they do this? Especially after the way that this guy's been gloating about forcing Cena to tap out. And I get it. We're doing the heel. They're a hypocrite. Look, he tapped out too, and he made sure to do it where the referee couldn't see him, and he outsmarted AJ. You could just have Gunther just beat people decisively, though.
Seriously. That's what he's known for.
Yeah. That's what he's been known for at the heel since he came to the main roster. And for some reason, they've been fluctuating with that and like changing the approach when he's a pretty simple character to put on TV.
Yes.
We got more from Tony. He says, remember the stuff I said a couple of weeks back about TNA fulfilling the LOL TNA prophecy? Well, damn it, they fulfilled it and then some, minus the issues with WWE partnership. The debacle on Thursday was their own doing. Yeah, he says the Knockouts division is lacking. You pay big for an ex-WWE people and not pay fresh top indie talent. WWE is taking your future and is using you as a feeder system. You know your creative is ass, and no fans don't want WWE. Like, yeah, you practice your insanity. Yeah, I don't really get it. I don't understand. Tony also says, Des and Reed didn't get an offer. You did that BS deal with the inspiration. Mike and Ash saying the shit they said about working other places when they both did it themselves because TNA wasn't paying much and Indies in the Indies was nasty. Yeah, I don't know why they said that. I understand waving the flag for a company, but yeah, I don't think we needed to say that.
For Mike Santana to say that and then WWE take Leon Slater off their show and he goes to do a big show when he goes to do a show when he should have been on your big show was just ironic, I think.
Very much so. Very, very much so. We have a few more here from Tony P. Just waiting for my screen to refresh. He also says, then when you learned about the visa issues, what did you do? Put on only 3 fucking matches, no X Division match on the show. You could have had an intergender match to show your uniqueness, but you need people to know Carlos was an executive producer. Yeah, that was my issue. I think you've got to really showcase what makes this company different. It's such a crowded market for wrestling at this point. You're vying. It's so many options out here vying for attention, and if you can't really showcase what makes you different than the other two big promotions in the U.S., you're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, why am I giving up my time, minutes, days, podcasting, talk, all the stuff that comes surrounding being a wrestling fan and supporting a company if you're not going to give me an alternative to the other stuff, if you're not going to even try and you're going to insult my intelligence, I'm not going to watch your show.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I saw some of the response of like, well, why are you guys criticizing so hard? It's okay to have an opinion, but why are you? It's like, look, if something's bad, and the way that this has been kind of universally panned by fans and alike, it's okay to say I didn't enjoy this and this wasn't good. Of course, these things are subjective, but if something's bad, yeah, people are gonna come around and be like, yeah, I didn't like this.
That's it. I hate people trying to be like, these are all just TNA haters and deniers and people that never watch TNA. No, most of the people on the timeline were like, I've seen TNA before and they did it again, or I can't believe I tried TNA again. It wasn't a bunch of people being like, a lot of them were going in with fresh minds. They weren't going to judge. They were going to watch this and be happy about it. And it just wasn't. It was bad. Bad show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So bad.
I think I missed Tony P. Humper chat in here. Okay, here it is. I did not hit this one. He said the bad LOL TNA, of course, overshadowed a lame Raw and NXT. The slash what the fuck are always teasing like it may have a direction. Only the blue ball fans excited for the global war, and they needed Japan one. Tanahashi goes corporate. Yo, Tanahashi had people crying in a club with this selfie of himself with short hair, and it's black now. Like, what's it's brunette, I guess it's brown.
Damn, people, corporate Tanahashi is here. He's fly again. He trying to be he ain't trying to do that long ass hair no more. The transformation is complete, Phil. Tanahashi is a retired professional wrestling man now. The long locks are gone. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only the client, the Presidito, no longer a wrestler. This guy is an executive now. This is what it is.
Wow.
We got 3 more Humper chats here from Tony P. He says, now about Hobbs news. Good for him and glad he is leaving on good terms. Also, like he put Kevin over on the way out. The reaction to him, sadly, was different to Blake when she left, and she left on good terms too. Sexism is a bitch. Yeah, I still don't. Some of the response to Blake is still very bizarre to me. I know some people act like, well, she said negative things about AEW. I don't think that I mean, if you're just talking about the stuff she said on the show, or of her finally being in a good women's division, you gotta kind of chalk that one up to the game, man. Like, I don't know. That didn't bother me that much, but it seemed to bother some people.
Yeah, most of the stuff seems pretty on the wrestling line, so it hasn't offended me. Like, I'm like, yeah, of course, she's the champion. She was the champion on a different brand. What the fuck is she supposed to say?
Yeah, she's not gonna come over there and put over AEW, and not shocked by that. Probably could have gone without it, but also knowing how petty WWE is, not shocked at all.
Come on.
Yeah. Tony also says, also it's sad when a joke about your underlying racism is what makes you recruit new black talent to prove you're not racist, only to not understand it is about how you use black talent overall. When you have black talent, you can already push now. With that said, peace and love. Yeah, I think, yeah, we'll see. If that report is real and he is trying to make an effort to bring new black talent in, great. But if you're not going to consistently push them or do anything interesting with them, does it matter?
Yeah, just signing people to sign them. We've seen that before. What the fuck does that do? Like, we need to sign them and see them on TV in prominent positions. That's when I'll be along for the ride.
Yeah, I mean, optics are optics, but once you get past the optics, you got to actually do the work. And I mean, I think that's across the board. Again, the way we talked about AEW, I do think it's different in comparison to WWE, but I do think all these companies could be doing better with diversity.
Absolutely.
And the last one from Tony P, he says, with WWE getting back into the scouting the indies, it feels like the moves TK is doing with ROH for the Global Wars is a move to make the indies more hostile for WWE. Yes, you will have people that want to go to WWE, but possibly not as many as before.
Yeah, I think the shift, the tides are changing in both ways. Like, I think that while there's still going to be people who have the WWE dream, there's still going to be people who want to be in the big WWE superstar and live that dream. I think with the way that they've been working the last year or so and politics and how things have been moving, I think people are going to not want to be that. And people are going to, there's always a ton of wrestlers that's not the dream and they want to go in alternative methods. And there's still going to be people who want to go to Japan, and there's still going to be people who want to go to other places in the world. So it's going to continue to be like that.
Yeah. That's all of our Humper Chats. Appreciate you as always, Tony P. Appreciate you guys that send in Super Chats as always.
Mm-hmm. We got 3 little Super Chats, and then I think, yeah, Ben Sifner also says, please don't put Hobbs with Heyman. He is so overrated. Hobbs in the Vision, Phil?
Nah. Don't go from putting him as a heater in a bunch of factions in AEW to putting him as a heater in a bunch of factions over there.
That's pretty much it. It's legit as simple as that. Like, if it's not, it's going to feel the same if he just goes and does the same thing. You know what I mean? So we're going to see how it kind of plays out. Appreciate that, Ben. Adrian Carpenter says, I'll never understand why black male talent keeps going to a company and Booker not pushing black male talent and not using them on PLEs.
I don't have the answer for you, buddy.
Yes, that's it. Like, being in a prominent position, pro wrestler on TV, and everybody kind of has a different goal. Like Phil was saying, everybody has a different thing that they want to do with their wrestling career. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be different. That's what I think every wrestler thinks in their brain when going over there. I'll be different.
Yeah, I mean, it's still the industry leader, and I think some people think, okay, well, it'll be different for me. Like, and I think that hasn't quite worked out yet. I still think Obafemi might be the guy that bucks a lot of those trends. He could end up being the best booked black male wrestler on the main roster very soon. I don't know. I'm still very hesitant to get excited.
Absolutely. The verdict is definitely going to be out. And then Adrian also says, never want to hear TNA is number 2 company again. Me neither.
They was really trying to push that agenda for a while. I don't think this was this was the debut to really drum that home, and they could turn this around, but I can't imagine some people that might have tuned in for this. I don't know that they'll be back.
TNA didn't look like the number 3 or number 4 promotion or number 5. Like, I could name 5 promotions that would have knocked that shit out of the park. They looked horrible. That looked bad. Like, Juggalo Championship Wrestling is doing better shows than this at this point. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? At least they have their own identity. Like, TNA does not have a fucking identity, you know? Shout out to the Juggalos.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Adrian. Is it still Juggalo
That's all
Championship
of our super
Wrestling?
chats. Is that what it was called?
That's what it used to be called.
Wow.
That's all of our super chats.
Appreciate you guys for sending your super chats, your Harper chats. That's kind of all we got for you. I thought Maximum Carnage was a lot of fun, starting with the Darby pack match. Darby is still out of his mind, getting thrown back first on those steel steps. I was like, Darby, it's okay, dog. I feel you, but and it was at least 3 spots like that in that match where that Razor's Edge where he gets thrown back first out of the ring too. I was like, because there's no way you can really brace yourself for that back bump on the steel steps, for example. I was like, dog, I just want you to be safe. I feel you, but I just want you to be safe.
You can't protect yourself. Like, as much as you can, he protected himself. But, like, again, you don't learn that in wrestling school. They learn how to take bumps, but you don't learn how to be slammed back first onto steel steps. Darby turned into the steel steps, essentially. Like, you could have walked up him. He made that fucking he made that fucking indent in his back. And yeah, like Phil said, there was a couple of spots that fucking awesome bomb, which I thought he was going all the way to the floor. At least he only went to the ramp. He was trying to kill Darby in a lot of spots, and like Darby's such a unique, different wrestler, and he brings such a different vibe. But also, like, just be careful out there. That's it. That's all. I love it. Like, I want this match every time, but like, be careful, dog. It's crazy.
Yeah. It was a fun opener though. Darby picked up the win. I gotta imagine we're possibly getting Darby versus Mox again because now he's beaten all the other Death Riders that stood against him since the Blood and Guts match up to this point. So maybe we're getting Darby challenging for the Continental Championship soon.
I thought he was going to be done with the Death Riders, but now that you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, that probably is what they're going to do because I can't see Darby factored into the world title plans at this point, at least.
Yes. I thought that the trios match that they did with the women was strong as well. Big Tex pin the women's world champion. I feel like that's going to lead to a big match for her coming up. I love the development here that Statlander has kind of been a lone wolf for this entire title run. And because she sacrificed herself for Willow, that's what ended up costing her the match here. There's some interesting developments that can come out of that. I really like that finish. Excited to see Tekla in that position, possibly getting a world title match. Then like you said, the main event was really strong. I thought that Bandito came across great. Great defense from Max. And then the just like the closing angle, not Bandito, sorry, but Brody King coming out there to run Max off. That gets me excited that hopefully we're getting Brody versus Max at some point.
Yes, Tekla, very exciting situations, very exciting developments. Like, I think both of the women's champions at this time, since they're both strong baby faces, we're going to need all the crazy heels that we can get out on the way up for these women to have defenses against. I think Tekla might beat one of these women for their championships at this rate with how they're going. I think she's on a short list of people that could immediately be slotted in and do a lot with that championship, and just how she's been moving her promos. Like, I'm a huge fan of Tekla, and it seems like every week I become a bigger fan just because of the work that she does. Like, incredible stuff. The tag match, I hated the fucking structure of the tag match, and let me tell you, I'm a huge, you guys know, Young Bucks are my favorite fucking tag team of all time, but there was way too many moments, Phil, where they were trying to do like these fucking choreographed, I hate even saying that in pro wrestling, but when they're all just standing, let's both do a thing, and it was too much pausing and waiting, and I just did not like the beginning of this match. After a while, it started to go into 1,000 miles per hour. The Young Bucks are hitting super kicks. Jet Speed's going crazy. Doyle and Mark Davis are fucking incredible. I'm super happy that they're in the division. But the beginning of this match was making
Yeah.
me mad, honestly.
Yeah, AEW is really falling in love with these all-star multi-men matches, and a lot of them are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I felt like for what this match was supposed to be, and you're really trying to set the table for who are going to be the big contenders for the tag title moving forward. I kind of would have just liked a straightforward, um, uh, four team matchup that didn't descend into this. And
Yes.
I agree. I think Doyle and Davis came across really well here. They're a fun tag team. I'm glad that they picked up the win here. If you're going to introduce them straight away and put them in this match, they needed the win to cement them. And coming out of this, getting the title match against FDR, that's a good spot for them. But yeah, I agree. It was at certain points of this match, I was like, okay, it's a little bit too much. It's a little too cutesy for me, but
Yes,
I
yes,
did
yes.
enjoy the match overall.
Like if this is a number one contendership for the tag team titles, it didn't seem like that. Like it just seemed like let's go out here and have a fun match. And while I'm into it, you guys know I love Spotful. I love all the crazy shit. We're fighting with the
Yeah.
purpose, and it didn't feel like at points they were fighting with the purpose. Like I said, eventually the match got to it and it broke. It got into the shit. But at the beginning, I was like, just like that's a great way to describe it. Just too cutesy. Like I like shit like this, but at this moment, I didn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I thought overall, I thought Dynamite was a lot of fun this week. I just, yeah, I was surprised to come back and see so many people kind of felt the same way you did about that tag match. I was like, yeah, because they've had so many of those in 2025, and they were a lot of fun. I just don't think that they should rely on that style of wrestling all the time.
Exactly. I kind of would have preferred if they would have did like a mini tournament or something and just had 2-on-2 versus 2-on-2, then those two meet at the end or something like this. Cause this just felt like, I don't know. And I love every fucking team in this. The demand's incredible. Like I love the work that they're doing. Like all of this, I really liked it, but I just did not like the structure of it, but they got to it. And yeah, the main event I thought was incredible. I was saying on the watch along, like, this match was incredible in front of this crowd, but if they would have did this match in Mexico, we would have been saying this shit was 10 stars just because of like the heat. I did love what Arizona, I thought they brought some good heat. That's not saying anything against them, but like it was such a like Max is really good, becoming really good at these lucha libre style epic main events where like the baby face comes back in peril
Yeah.
and he almost pulls it out. Like just such a great structure of the match. And like if Max is going to be this kind of world champion, like we're talking about earlier, Phil, I'm all in.
Yeah, I thought the Arizona crowd was a lot of good. Was a lot of good. I thought I thought the Arizona crowd really brought it. I thought that they were loud throughout. They reacted to everything. Max got a lot of good heat in the main event, and I like that building. I hope that they do that building again. I think it was Arizona Financial Theater. Yeah, I know we get the discourse around like, can they fill up a stadium? Can they fill up an arena? There's nothing wrong with like doing different venues like this, like a theater, and getting something unique to AEW product. I just continue to say that over and over again. That's what I liked
Yep.
about the Ericon Ballroom show is
Mm-hmm.
that if you're gonna do smaller venues, do things that are unique to your product.
Yeah, and I like how in this venue they had some different camera angles. They were shooting it different. It was lit different. Just like make it feel like
Yeah.
if you're gonna be in these smaller venues, make it unique and make it feel like that. Because sometimes being in a big venue every week, like WWE, you don't even know, like they're overseas and you don't know just because it's a big sold out show. But there's nothing like unique to it because all these big arenas look exactly the same, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When I have any more, well, let me double check before we slide out of here. I don't believe we have any more Harper chats.
No super chats either.
Yeah. My bad, y'all. I was taking taking a little bit of a second. You guys for pulling up this Saturday. Appreciate you guys for sending in your chats. Come on, screen. Come on. You can do it. You can do it, Streamlab. I know you can. I believe in you.
I don't believe in you, Streamlab.
That is all of our Humper chat. That is all of our Humper chat. There's all of our super chats. So this is where we bid you guys adieu. We'll be back at our usual time slot next Saturday at noon Eastern time on this very YouTube channel. I believe I'm doing a post show for Raw on Monday. I am doing it because I forgot that I agreed to that a few days yesterday or whatever days are. All of these days blend together.
Let me I got some breaking news before we get on out of here about your boy Righteous Reg. Some good breaking news to go. On January 30th, Hog Wrestling is coming to Los Angeles, California. The main event is Andrade and Amazing Red. Amazing Red GOAT. He got one of my, I love Amazing Red so much. One of my Twitter accounts is gone because of Amazing Red. But that's neither here nor there. Righteous Reg is going to be on the call in Los Angeles for Hog Wrestling. So if you are going to, I think the show is sold out.
That's great.
I don't know if you can get tickets to that. The show might be sold out, but you can watch it online. Hog Wrestling is through Triller TV. And if you want to hear your boy call some wrestling action, I'm going to be calling it January 30th. Very excited about it. Remember who used to do commentary for Hog, Philip Lindsey?
Yeah, he had some not great things to say about you, and yeah,
Sure did.
sometimes karma's like that, man. Sometimes karma is swift, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, look, man, it just goes to show, just be nice, man. Be nice, man. It's all right. It's all right to be nice. And sometimes you don't have to be nice. I don't know. You know what it is. This is Big Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. It's Righteous Reg. We are out of here. Till next time. Peace.